rain this afternoon. Otherwise, should see mainly sunny skies with a high around 90. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, a low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light and variable winds with a high around 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When only the best will do. Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nebraska football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th in Kansas City, and you can be a part of the best pregame tailgate party with Blur Events, live from Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. Doors open 4 hours before kickoff with a live DJ promoting interactive competitions and giveaways. Tailgate games like cornhole, flip cup, and beer pong, access to ballpark concessions, and available air conditioning. Book your tickets today at blurevents.com/Kansas City and hang with 93.7 The Ticket on the scene prior to Nebraska versus Cincinnati on August 28th.
Ah, the sounds of back to school time. There's plenty to about this time of year. So let Cane's take something off your plate by putting something on it. Like the most craveable hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. It's going to be a great school year.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Old School with Foreman and Oerman. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That it is. Welcome in. It's Old School on The Ticket with you from 3 to 6 here on a beautiful Wednesday. Austin and DP with you. Jay Foreman will be along here before too long. Certainly rope in the Husker Hall of Famer. Lots to get to on a fun show. 8 days away from kickoff, Husker Nation. 8 days away. A week from tomorrow will be Nebraska and Cincinnati. A lot to get to on the Huskers front coming up in about an hour as well. Marcus Satterfield, EJ Barthel, and a couple selected players will take the mic. We'll tell you what they had to say when we have the ability so to do. We'd love to hear from you as always. 402-464-5685. hit us up on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. DP, welcome into Old School. How are you?
Good to be here. Good to be heard. And I'm doing well. Let's get it.
Yes, let's. So, Baseball Corner on Monday, I broached this topic, but you're in the building, would like your thoughts on it because I think there's a lot that I didn't get to over the course of just the 1 hour of the Baseball Corner. And that is Major League Baseball, a little bit of a firestorm set off by Commissioner Rob Manfred, not for a terrible reason this time. Good job, Rob Manfred. It's actually a semi-positive headline. He was at the Little League Classic, right? The game between the Mariners and the Mets up there in Williamsport. And he was on the air. He said something to the effect of, we're looking at expansion. And with expansion, it gives us the chance to look at geographic realignment for Major League Baseball. We know there's been plenty of that. Baseball has seen its fair share of expansion teams over really the last 50 years or so, 55 years. Really has been the bulk of the more recent expansion in Major League Baseball. Let's start with the expansion part of it, DP. Sounds like there's a $2 billion, not million, $2 billion buy-in, and 4 markets really seem like they're in the running. Sounds like Nashville is up there, Charlotte is up there, Portland, and Salt Lake City. I know you and I broached the Salt Lake one. I think that one makes sense for a lot of reasons. Let's assume Salt Lake gets a team just for the purposes of our conversation. If Major League Baseball is going to add one more team and go to a 32-team league like the NFL between Portland, Charlotte, and Nashville, who do you think has the best chance of getting that 32nd team?
Oh, poor Portland. The best thing for Portland is Seattle.
Indeed.
And giving them a natural. The same Charlotte covers the Mid-Atlantic. For Atlanta and DC.
That kind of gap between those two.
It's the same NFL rules. Just that's why the Carolina Panthers existed. That for all those decades, it was Washington and Atlanta were the controlled the Mid-Atlantic. And then they figured out that, geez, if we put something in the middle with a really nice airport and a hub, no less, Charlotte has it. Now, Charlotte has money. It has room. It has space. And it's used to doing expansion sports pretty effectively. So that's in the play. Nashville, same thing. If you're not going to do Charlotte, you would do Nashville. If you made that decision, it makes all the sense in the world. Middle of the country or middle-ish.
They can handle pro sports.
You give the weather is a thing, right? For that in Charlotte. But it's been done. It's been done. I would say that the extremes win for that very reason. But if you're Kansas City and you're pushing Kansas City, St. Louis, and you're pushing middle of the country, Nashville is a wonderful way to hub Atlanta, Dallas. It allows you to put things in order. So for me, I would like to see young man outside. For me, I would like to see the West have another. We've done that thing where we've just ignored the West. But if Salt Lake is in play, then that answers it. I'm not sure that they're going to. They say 2. I'm really not sure that it's not a 6.
36 seems like a lot. That'd be the biggest pro sports league in America.
But it strikes everything about Major League Baseball and what they're aspiring to be.
Then what are those next 2 markets? If we assume those 4 get teams,
think of the amount. Would you say $2 billion each?
Yeah.
Right. What ownership group in Major League Baseball is going to turn down an additional $4 billion? We don't know any. We don't know any. If you tell me that the market allows for 2. Why take $4 billion if $8 billion's on the table? That's not the process in which they work. And if you're going to do that and go to 34, then 36 is a much natural leap. It's the college football playoff. If you do 12, a much more natural number in those sorts of situations is 16. People miss the math. You jumped straight from 4 to a 12 conversation when the 8 to 16 is a much more natural conversation. So the NFL with 32, they have problems with that. Like it actually creates some things that if you separated conferences, well, what's the natural split for the conferences?
Usually it's East-West.
Right? That if it's 16 and 16, you can do work. I understand the 32 version of it. But I also understand the 36.
The 18 and 18.
I'm okay with that. Especially when the money's right. If you're a fan in Nashville, Portland, Charlotte, etc., do you care who else comes in with you?
I'm more concerned about the division I get placed in than who my fledgling brothers and sisters are.
Right. So you're going to do business with, but they're not bringing anybody in who doesn't have a natural fit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Those markets have identified within themselves where they belong long before Major League Baseball's figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knew that Charlotte deserved NFL football and that was supported in full the way that it did? Nashville went back and forth. We had that discussion over whether, why Nashville over Houston? Well, no, you can have both. And if you can have both, you should probably
take both.
Take both. So I'd say Carolina and Portland, just because that corners, they're both coastal.
Mm-hmm.
You give Seattle and San Francisco and Colorado a little bit more to dance with. Salt Lake, the airport kind of calls to it, but why not do Portland and Salt Lake? Why not do Charlotte and Nashville? It really is the same work.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just becomes alignment.
Then it becomes alignment. Let's move on to that part of it. In most proposals I've seen, DP, let's say that most people are assuming Major League Baseball would only pick two, at least to begin with, get them to a 32-team league. We know the NFL has done the 8 divisions of 4 teams, 4 in each conference, AFC and NFC. But we also forget the NHL has it split up by 8s, not by 4s. When it comes to alignment, would you rather see 8 divisions of 4 teams across the 2 conferences or leagues? Or would you rather see 2 divisions, 2 conferences of 8 teams in either league?
So what I think they as a fan, I want some consistency in who I'm going to see, and I also want some consistency in who I could see.
Okay.
To have balance allows you to say 8-team conferences, divisions, give you 7 business partners. You make decisions together. You agree with one another. You're going to see each other the most. So if you're New York and you have access, you're a Yankees fan, who do you want to see the most?
Boston, probably the Mets. I guess Baltimore might be in that conversation.
Philly.
There's history. Philly, probably.
Right. There's some things. There are people
Maybe
you
Toronto,
want to do business
close.
with.
Yeah.
Right. If you're the Yankees, do you care about going across the border to Toronto? Not particularly.
Probably not. No.
Probably not particularly. If you're the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros, you do really good business when you see each other. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Look, whatever other decisions. The Dodgers, Padres, Giants, A's. If you put them anywhere together, how much more business do they do?
That's funny because you skipped over another LA team.
I did.
Because they don't deserve it right now.
Well,
poorly run franchise.
Well, but the A's will end up out of it, so the Angels end up in the conversation, right? The A's move to Vegas and become part of the Colorado corridor,
right?
Of what you're going to deal with, or Vegas, right? And in the space, Arizona waving frantically from the border. Hey guys, we're neighbors. Give us some love over here. But the reality is, right? You're not that important,
right?
You haven't earned a seat at the table to have that conversation. So, I'm okay with going bigger in the bulk. Think Big Ten. 4 years ago, you had the conferences and you were kind of meh. Like you're looking over the fence. Like, what are y'all doing over there? right? Well, we're over here in the West. What are y'all doing over there?
Mm-hmm.
You missed opportunity. You missed some business meetings. If in bulk you have access to Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, you're going to do better business.
So are you then advocating for that East-West split, or would you keep American League, National League?
I'm not sure that it's not North, South, East, West. I'm because if and distance matters, like geography matters,
right? Mm-hmm.
But if where are you going to put Chicago, East or West?
That's just the thing,
right?
Right, because there's a whole middle of the country that, as I see these breakdowns, I'm just going to go from the Royals' perspective, right? Favorite team. I've seen two different proposals. One of them had Royals, Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then along with the Royals and Cardinals, they had Houston,
Texas.
and Texas.
Mm-hmm. And the Southwest.
But they called it the South, which doesn't sit right with me as a Royals fan. I know Missouri is south of Nebraska, but to me, that would be the Central, because they didn't have a division called the Central, and it's in the middle part of the country. The other proposal I saw, DP, and I think that more fans in this area would be more on board with this because we have quite a few Cubs fans here, is obviously in that division I mentioned, it splits up the Cubs and the Cardinals. That's historic. We know how much that rivalry means to them. That's certainly more of a rivalry being a divisional game than Royals Cardinals is. So the other proposal I saw had the Royals, the Rockies, the Rangers, and the Astros.
Yeah.
Rockies just felt like a weird
Yeah.
throw in.
Yeah.
That one I don't like at all. But I think that would probably sit better with more baseball traditionalists because you keep that Cubs Cardinals rivalry together.
Oh,
My
would
pushback.
fight. You would fight.
My pushback to that is baseball has gone to the system where you play everyone, right? I guarantee that you would still get a home and home between Cubs and Cardinals every year. If the Dodgers and the Giants got split up, you would still get at least a home and home between them. Or what I could really see Major League Baseball doing is, 3 series a year, probably not a neutral series, but if you're the home team, 1 year you get 2 home series and you go on the road for 1. And then that alternates every year because you do great business. Like you said, when it's Dodgers, Giants, when it's, Yankees, Mets, right? Which in this case, in a lot of cases, would become a divisional game. I'm not so mad about Yankees, Mets in the same division because I'm not a big Subway Series guy. If they're playing in the same division, you get that animosity more often. I don't like having the World Series or, the NBA Finals, whatever it could be. No, obviously not the finals. But even the World Series right in Chicago or Los Angeles, even the Bay Area series we've had before, I don't like excluding it. The rest of the country.
They left the Royals out of the Midwest and put in the Reds.
Well, because they mislabeled it, in my opinion.
Right.
Because to me, you can have an East region with Boston, Philly, and the 2 New Yorks.
Right.
You can do Great Lakes with Toronto. I would assume probably then you would throw in Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Detroit. You can do Twins, Brewers, and 2 Chicago teams.
My nephew uses the word oogie. Oogie. Some of that. Listen, if you tell me that you're literally just going to just mesh some of this, that Toronto, Minnesota, Detroit, Milwaukee.
I don't like that setup. I like the one I just said.
Ooh, I get the shivers at the idea that I have to buy tickets to watch this. No. But you also can't stop Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies from having, literally, and Big Ten folks, pay attention. Because if the idea of Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon said, hey, we're going to play each other. The rest of y'all figure it out.
Figure it out.
Right? The rest of it, it's the SEC. If the big boys just say, we don't care. We're
sorry, Mississippi State, but not really.
Yeah, right. Vanderbilt.
Sorry, Kentucky, but not really.
Right. What do you want us to do?
We'll talk to you during basketball.
It's Bama, Texas, Georgia,
LSU,
Florida. There's a group of 6 sitting back going, oh, let's all make a whole lot more money. If you put it where you can drive to your rivals, you change the business. I use this conversation to circle into college football because I don't know if there was ever an ideal perfect time for drivability, because drivability changes the money in the space that you're talking about. And if you can put Nebraska, Iowa State, Missouri, Kansas State, put them in the same pocket and allow
Oklahoma State.
Right. To tell me that Nebraska fans wouldn't battle to go to every game in every sport because it actually makes sense.
Because it's doable.
It's actually doable. You know what? I can go from a recruiting standpoint. It's competitive. It's locked in, certain style of player. You know the towns. You know the route to get there. Good weather, bad weather, in between weather. You know what you're dealing with. Flights are wonderful, but not always necessary. Right. And that if you ask the typical Big Ten football fan, they would rather spend more on the ticket than on the travel to get there. Right. So, and the fact that you can petition some of this stuff that, hey, Nebraska, Kansas on a Saturday at 2 means traffic both ways becomes more bearable and more money being spent. Major League Baseball is in the pocket. And by the way, the NBA and the NFL are watching because it's going to tell them, one, what the study says, what all the fans would say, because, again, just me, imagine, a division that had the Jets and Giants and Patriots and Steelers in it, or Steelers.
Oh, sorry, Buffalo.
Right. Well, Buffalo goes over there. That allows Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati to fight it out. Oh, right. Like, what are we doing?
So let me ask you this. Major League Baseball looking at expansion and realignment. Is that because they're playing catch up to the NBA and the NFL, or is this Major League Baseball being a first mover?
They're in trouble. I think they're in trouble. One, because you have such a big schedule. Like, that's the biggest schedule of the bunch, but it's also the biggest opportunity. If you get it right, and in the biggest pockets, so in the biggest media hubs, right? Which is why you have to let Northeast California, you have to let the big hubs do what they do. Let them eat. Like, I'm not going to be mad at you. Let them eat. Right?
Because you're turning into that South hub as well right now.
Well, because if they eat, we all eat better. And not for nothing, but I'm pushing the Texas Rangers, Houston Astros, Atlanta Braves. I'm pushing them in the same pocket because that's an easy trip to make. Oh, we could do, wait a minute. And if it's those teams who know each other, are familiar, then you can start to look at New Orleans baseball. Like, you get to look at New Orleans baseball and we're having a different conversation. You can include, think about it, Miami and Tampa, you're allowing yourselves to do better business there because, again, you can go back and forth. And then you can look at a third place, maybe Orlando. Because, I don't know, Disney and baseball seem like they would get along just fine together.
Old Dad 34 on the text line says MLB is trying to tear apart history by changing what they've already done with interleague play and now this. Stop it, as DP would say. Here's the thing. On the one hand, yes, but also I'm sure these conversations were had every time Major League Baseball expanded. Let's not pretend like baseball has been static since its inception.
It's not static. It's evolving, but you don't want to devolve.
No, you don't want to lose everything. But if you can, that's what I'm saying. That's my main pushback is that you will still get every series that you want.
I don't know that you do, though.
I think you do. 162 games. If you only have 3 divisional opponents instead of 4 that you have to play 13 to 19 games against, that's a lot of wiggle room. That's a lot of flexibility to make sure you get an extra series or 2 against the teams that matter most to each other.
Oh, no, but if you're the AL Northeast, New York, Boston, Philly, you're not particularly paying attention to Miami, Tampa, etc. You're just not.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't need them on my schedule. Hey, give me the North, give me the Southwest. Give me New York, Boston, Philly with LA, San Diego, and whoever. Right? I'm going to win. If I want the traditional, it's Midwest versus Northeast, where I get Cards, Cubs, Reds versus any of those teams from the Northeast. we're packed anyway, right? And it's great television. Those are your national games. Those are the ones that draw people. Those are the ones that highlight the stars. It certainly separates the haves and the have-nots because, quite frankly, none of the rich folks are in the Mid-Atlantic. None of the you're not talking. Those are the mini minor league, the major minor leagues anyway. That Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland is a factor, but it still doesn't spend the money of the New Yorks and Bostons. So, look, we're going to pay attention to what you're doing only to harvest talent. It's the same thing applies. If you're the Rockies, Royals, and any other variety of that, right? Texas and Houston work in their own spaces, which is why I think if you put Atlanta with them,
easy trip,
right? Easy trips makes all the sense in the world. Why?
So then do you throw Arizona in there or Miami in there?
I would. You consider both. That with Texas, both Texas teams and Miami, Atlanta, or Arizona, it makes sense. It makes Arizona and Texas make sense. Atlanta as the next fill-in. Phoenix to Atlanta is easy.
San Diego, Arizona, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta.
Yep, you get
straight line.
Right, you get all of that in order. You can build some rivalry. They travel well to different places. I think a big part of the travel aspect of it is what matters. And then you're going to open the curtain to the Wizard of Oz and find out what owners really don't like each other. Like this is what you're really getting. Can I erase the board and rediscover the conversation? That what you're really seeing and what you're about to see is which ownership pockets really get along. Because if they don't, you don't want to partner with somebody that doesn't do business the way you do, doesn't have the financial priorities that you do, doesn't have the drawing power. Their owners, we know, it's the Jay Foreman theory, a third of the major league teams don't really want to win the World Series each year because it requires work and money that they don't want to spend. A third
of the teams are happy to be there, and then you have your winning third.
Hey, top third, we can name those teams. We know the 10 teams that, quite frankly, this is we need to get after this. And in the middle, when we're good, great. We are exceptional, Kansas City. When we're really good, it means a lot. When we're not, I will turn you off. I will turn you off and go to something else. That's what we're finding out right now.
DP, did you know that the Royals are currently 1.5 games back of a wild card spot right now?
Chasing the Yankees, and I meant to ask you this, but you can give me the answer after the break. If you had to wager from 10 pennies, and you had to, how many of those pennies would you wager that they capture this thing?
I'll think about it, give you the answer, and we get back to Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage, 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
We strive to help people get into home ownership. That is the American dream. Having something that you can go home at night and say, this is mine, is very important. The great thing about Remington Homes is affordability.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about their exciting new division, Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
The exciting thing about a Remington home is you get to choose your floor plan from predetermined floor plans. We give you a lot of choices, and you couple that with our great lot selection in all different areas. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SauterHeyman.com.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
With UPT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Nebraska football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th in Kansas City, and you can be a part of the best pregame tailgate party with Blur Events, live from Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. Doors open 4 hours before kickoff with a live DJ promoting interactive competitions and giveaways. Tailgate games like cornhole, flip cup, and beer pong, access to ballpark concessions, and available air conditioning. Book your tickets today at blurevents.com/Kansas City and hang with 93.7 The Ticket on the scene prior to Nebraska versus Cincinnati on August 28th.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Back to old school with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on Old School, DP and Austin with you. Big thanks to the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese for their sponsorship of the show. We also want to let you know that the Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department has launched Credible Mind, a free confidential mental health platform at myhealthymind.crediblemindcom. An overdose can happen right in front of you. Look for blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, or unresponsiveness. These signs can be deadly. Credible Mind gives you tools and resources to be ready and protect those around you. All right, DP, you asked me if I had 10 pennies, how many of them would I wager on the Kansas City Royals completing their comeback from the brink to make it into the playoffs? As it stands right now, as the Phillies sweep the Mariners, the Royals are 1.5 games behind the Mariners and the Red Sox right now for the final American League wild card spot. The Yankees are 3 games clear of them. But then there are those three teams, the Red Sox, the Mariners, and the Royals, all within a game and a half or two of each other. Think about this before I give you the answer for how many pennies. As of 1 week ago today, the Royals playoff odds, according to Fangraphs, were at 7%. Going into Monday, they jumped a little bit to 12.3%. Entering today, as of 5 hours ago, the Royals playoff odds are 1-4, 24.7%. Still a lot of work left to do because the Yankees are up. Red Sox have, I believe, the season series against the Royals, and the Royals are still chasing the Mariners. But they've gotten hot. They've made a little bit of a run during an easier part of their schedule. So right now, if I have 10 pennies, how many of them am I putting on the Royals? I'm putting on, I'd say 2 pennies. I'm rooting for it. Obviously, I'm wearing my Cags shirt today. Jack Caglione on his rehab assignment, tearing it up again for KC. But this Royals team, DP, has just tantalized and teased all year long. They're going to do just enough to not make it. They had a 16-2 stretch across, I think that was mid to late May and into early June before the offense completely evaporated. Whole lot of pitching injuries that they've weathered for the most part so far. It has been a valiant effort of a season from the Royals. Hasn't gone exactly as planned, but I see myself viewing this Royal season through a very similar lens as I did Nebraska men's basketball. 2 years ago, Nebraska men's basketball makes the tournament. Last year, they qualify for the crown. Last season, the Royals make the playoffs. They win wild card series against Baltimore before falling to the Yankees in 4 games. And obviously, there's no consolation tournament in Major League Baseball. There's no NIT there. But I think for both those franchises, teams, programs, it can be a step back in the year to year. Clearly, not making the NCAA tournament was a step back for Nebraska basketball. Missing the playoffs is missing the playoffs. But for a franchise like the Royals that just doesn't go to the playoffs in back-to-back years, that is either really in the thick of it or way out of it, kind of same thing for Nebraska men's basketball. We know there haven't been a lot of tournament appearances in school history. Even if in the micro, the year to year, it's a step back for both teams. They both proved they're doing business better. They're handling themselves more professionally, and there's a solid foundation to build off of. So maybe the Royals end up missing the playoffs. I still think that's more likely, and Fangraphs would even tell you 75% of the times the Royals will miss the playoffs. But the Royals are still in the race here in mid to late August after a surprise year that they improved their one-loss record by 30 games. And so even if they miss the playoffs, it is still a step in the right direction for the franchise as a whole.
That currently in the American League and the teams that are behind the Royals, 2-game losing streak, 2-game losing streak, 2-game losing streak, 1-game losing streak. Royals with a 5-game win streak. Above them, the Mariners have managed to go into a 5-game spin.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Sox, 3-game spin.
Because the Red Sox are playing the Yankees. Mariners just got beat by the Phils.
Yankees go on a 4-game win streak, which, provides some air. But above that as well, the Astros go on a 4-game losing streak. And that falls in play. That in truth, you start identifying the people directly above you, not only in the wild card, but in the division. And if you feel like they're within reach, sometimes the greater reach may be the bigger prize. That if you can find your way through, I think that here's what I think about the Royals. Sadly, I agree with you that I think that they're teasing you.
It's what they've done all year.
Yeah, I think they're teasing you because at 4 games over 500, there have been both ends of the spectrum where you thought if you said, hey, at this point in the season, they're 4 games over 500, you would be both surprised and upset and disappointed at the same time.
Mm-hmm. I would tell you I'd take it.
Right?
But
disappointed, right? Disappointed. Right? But there have also been times that if you had said, hey, they're going to be 2 games back and 4 games over 500, you'd have thrown confetti, right? Because it was just going so bad.
Yeah.
Teams are who they are. And every now and then you get lightning in a bottle and you get the run and it is exclusive and outside of your norm.
And that was last year with the Tigers, the run that they made from under 500 to the wild card round. It just doesn't strike me that the Lightning's going to strike twice in the same division back-to-back years.
at 68 wins, and this is the thing that you have to pay attention to, that you're 3 games back in the win column. But it's the all-important loss column. People will drive that home, that you're 1 game in the loss column behind the Mariners, but you're also even in the loss column with the Guardians, who is a team that I still circle. More than the Mariners, I circle the Guardians because they have just enough dog.
They have the devil magic that you and I both know, DP.
Yep. Right.
When it comes down to crunch time, Seattle will find a way to screw it up.
And Guardians will break out the Ricky Vaughn, the Wild Thing music, and the drums will reemerge, and it's just the vibe. I think. Who do you think Major League Baseball, as business partners, want to beat the 3 wildcard teams in the American League?
Clearly, New York and Boston. Clearly, those 2 are in there.
More so than who wins those divisions,
right?
It's all important.
Just get them in the playoffs.
Hey, get them in.
And then I think you can go a bunch of different directions, right? Texas, their 2-game losing streak has, of course, come at the hands of the Royals, and even more important than the 2-game losing streak, 2-8 in their last 10. That's not a good look. That's a big market that has a World Series in the not too recent past. Major League Baseball is not mad at that. I really think, though, that Major League Baseball would kind of prefer Seattle, right? Having that Pacific Northwest outpost, get a team to say, oh, we broke our curse. We were 1 game away last year. We missed it. We're back in the playoffs. And I think, Cal Raleigh has done some wonders for Major League Baseball, right? He's really brought some excitement up there. Not to say Julio Rodriguez, isn't still the face of that franchise with the contract they gave him. But man, I think if you can spark Seattle up there, that then ties into the expansion, right? Oh, Pacific Northwest people love baseball. Look how they rally behind the Mariners in their surprise run to the American League Championship Series. Hypothetically, we feel comfortable putting a team in Portland or maybe in Salt Lake. They deserve a travel partner. But I don't think Major League Baseball cares who the 3rd team is, as long as 2 of them are the Yankees and the Red Sox for business.
Yeah, I think that is a fair statement. And I think it is a 3-team race in full. That Mariners, Royals, Guardians, all in those teams that are currently above 500. You want it to be a winning team.
Yeah.
That you spend your emotional energy on. And it makes me eliminate the Rangers and Rays. But then, and in this case, okay, so here's the question of those 3 teams: Seattle, Kansas City, Cleveland, better pitching, starting pitching.
So this speaks to the text line here. Friend Dan from Canopy says the Royals have the pitching. If the bats get hot, they can make a run. They're leaving a ton on base. To go back to what you said before, DP, if you told me the Royals were 4 games above 500 right now, or the beginning of the year, but okay, wonder how the season's gone. If you told me the Royals are 4 games above 500 with Cole Reagans, I don't think pitching double-digit time, certainly didn't reach 15 starts for the Royals this year. He was their ace coming into the year. With Seth Lugo being good and now really backing up over the last couple months, with Chris Bubich being the breakout, guy in the American League in terms of pitchers, now he's on the shelf. They lost their top 3 pitchers for an extended period of time to injury or performance. And the offense, if you look just at runs scored, it's the worst in the AL. They've scored 10 fewer runs than the White Sox have, 16 fewer runs than the Guardians have. Worst offense in the AL. Down 3 pitchers. I'm here. I'm with you. Cool. They're gritty. They're gutting it out. I really appreciate what they're doing. But you have to look at Seattle for the pitching. All 5 of their starters are still there, available, and excellent. Shutdown guy who was an all-star in the back end of the bullpen. There's a reason Seattle's in front right now. The offense has been pretty good. The pitching has been elite for most of the year. So I think pitching-wise, you give the edge to Seattle.
I think, and I don't want to lose it in the discussion, that Astros, Seattle, they're a game and a half apart for the division.
I know.
Right? To go through and go, okay, let's not do that. Like, I don't want to write that off and miss it. And sometimes in the pursuit of the all-important divisional title, you lose sight and you do things that would make you cost yourself the wild card. Like we've watched it. And you kind of go all in. I got to win these games. No, you got to win as many games.
Yeah.
And it depends on the management in those spaces for you to figure out what that is. I think that's a part of the conversation as well. That can Houston come back? And again, it's just a bad week.
Well, Houston's had like 17 dudes on the IL all year. The Mariners have been the story, and yet Houston still leads the division.
Yeah,
It's infrastructure, man.
Yeah, it's balance and depth, all of those things. I think, you look at the rosters and say, okay, that makes perfect sense. But yes, if your best hitter sitting at home, with a broken hand for the bulk of this, he's the gatekeeper.
Yeah,
Alvarez is the gatekeeper for all the other talent that goes on around there. And yeah, you go and get Correa and Alvarez changes
a lot.
Man, that just it changes everything. So I think it becomes interesting for the Royals. Every opportunity. I mean, I'd love to look at their final, quarter of a season.
So the Royals are in the midst of the stretch right now. They'll finish up tonight and tomorrow afternoon against Texas, 3 against Detroit on the road, 3 against the White Sox on the road, and then come home for 3 more against Detroit. That's going to be a big next 10, 11 games. Then after that.
So the 6 against Detroit, look, you're going to get the White Sox.
You better.
Like you're going to get the White Sox. But the 6 home and away against Detroit tells everything. And remember, if Detroit has a 9.5 game lead in the division. So there's a different need to than Kansas City. Hopefully the games are played that way. If you can go circle it, if you can go 6-3, help yourself. Right.
And then after that, it's Angels and Twins.
Thank you.
Probably 4-2. Again, you got to go. Then here's this stretch, DP. Guardians, who are still going to be scrappy. Phillies, need it, got to have it.
Yep.
Then 3 with the Mariners. That's going to be huge for tiebreaker. Whoever wins 2 of those 3 or more gets the tiebreaker edge in wild card. Then a series with the Blue Jays in approximately a month from today. That's a division leader. That is in Kauffman. But then the Royals finish out on the road, 3 at the Angels, 3 at the A's. If they can tread water in that Guardians, Phillies, Mariners stretch and Blue Jays, if they can go 500 in that stretch, and then you finish up with 6 against the Angels and A's, you feel okay.
Yeah.
You feel okay.
Yeah, they gave you the minor league schedule. Those are bags already packed for those final 6 games. Those are people, as a matter of fact, you're going to show up to the stadium and the opposing dugout will have golf carts in them instead. So 6, buffer that. What would the 6 wins do for the record? It's in play. Don't crap the bed against Detroit and Toronto. That's what I would hope.
That is what is in play. We'll go to break. We'll wrap up hour 1 of Old School in a moment.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone and Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln with more exciting news for area car buyers.
Charlie, it's just announced that Honda of Lincoln has won 3 of the Lincoln Journal-Star's Lincoln Choice Awards: Best New Car Dealer, Best Auto Repair, and Best Place to Get Your Oil Changed.
Wow, that's great, Andy. Anything else?
Yes, we were runner-up for Best Pre-Owned Dealer and Best Tire Dealer. A lot of people don't understand that we do sell tires here.
Very exciting, Andy. Why do you think your dealership is winning so many awards?
Charlie, we simply say it's the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business.
Looks like Honda of Lincoln is the great news headquarters for Lincoln.
Yes, and even all of Nebraska, we are also announcing that Honda of Lincoln's the only dealer in the state of Nebraska to win the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2024.
Honda of Lincoln, Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SauterHeyman.com.
Sauter Heyman
Midwest Bank is proud to serve Nebraska communities for over 70 years.
We're a community bank making local decisions, supporting community organizations, and helping businesses succeed with 10 locations throughout the state, from Wisner to Deschler, Norfolk to York, and right here in Lincoln too. Whether you're opening a checking account, buying your first home, in need of an ag loan, or in search of cash management services for your business, we're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Make this your best football season yet with help from Limitless Mail. If you're struggling with low energy, muscle loss, brain fog, belly fat, mood swings, it's likely low testosterone, and Limitless Mail can fix that. We've helped over 100,000 men feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more like themselves again. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Take control. Book your free consult today at limitlessmail.com. That's limitlessmail.com.
Nebraska football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th in Kansas City, and you can be a part of the best pregame tailgate party with Blur Events, live from Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. Doors open 4 hours before kickoff with a live DJ promoting interactive competitions and giveaways, tailgate games like cornhole, flip cup, and beer pong, access to ballpark concessions, and available air conditioning. Book your tickets today at blurevents.com/Kansas City and hang with 93.7 The Ticket on the scene prior to Nebraska versus Cincinnati on August 28th.
Back to old school with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're wrapping up hour one of Old School. Austin Norman, DP with you. Been a lot of good Major League Baseball talk. Before we move off of that and onto football for, I assume, the rest of the show here at DP, we do have this from the text line. So Ben wants to know, speaking of the Mariners, if you had been hit 5 times in your previous 15 at-bats and a bunch of them were from the same pitcher, would you throw your bat at the pitcher just like Victor Robles did?
Okay. In high school, I was hit the first 3 times so it was a rival team. We had played them previous in the year, and the year before, I stole 3 bases against them the year before, stole 2 in the first game, first time we played them. He hit me, and I was an agitator. That was my job.
Leadoff guy.
Get on, stir it up, agitate. Mm-hmm. Willie Mays Hayes. I was going to stir it up. How far are you going? 90 feet. So he hit me first time, right in the badonk, right? I'm cool with it.
Whatever.
Second time through, and we're already ahead in the game. And I I'm going to bunt from the left-hand side. I'm just going to drag it and beat it out. He comes inside all the way. Like he sees the foot move, throws at my front foot, hits me. Third time up, same rules apply. I'm going to bunt on. Once again, this time it hits me on the arm, on the guide arm.
Yeah.
Right. So fourth time, at this point, I know I've won. What's he going to do? If you're going to throw at me, you're giving me a triple.
Mm-hmm.
You're already losing. I've scored 3 times. What good does charging the mound do? What would it accomplish?
Mm-hmm.
The guy behind me would most certainly like me on second base to drive in to get an RBI.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if I'm having that kind of game where I score 3 runs, why would I take myself out?
Right.
Like, play the game. Play the game. Too much machismo. Hey, you threw at me. You're not I'll take the hit. Like, I don't need to. I don't need to charge the mound. I don't need to. I've never charged the mound or had a player on a team I coached charge the mound. It just wasn't a part of baseball to me.
No, and that makes sense to me. The backstory for this is Joey Estes hit Victor Robles. They're both former major leaguers, currently in the minor leagues. Estes had hit Robles a couple times in the majors and then came inside with one again. Robles' statement on Instagram after this was, "Yep, shouldn't have done it. The context is I'm coming off a long rehab assignment, don't really like getting plunked, and my mom died, and I'm not handling that the best. So not an excuse for my actions, just thought you should all know the context."
So imagine Yordan Alvarez and broken hand, and then you go rehab and the guy hits you on your hand twice or throws at your hands. Okay. I'm going to say some things, but throwing a bat and that sort of stuff, no.
Yeah.
I'm not.
There's a line.
Yeah.
Throwing a bat across it. 10-game suspension for him at the minor league level. DP, I know you got business. I know Jay's in the building. Thanks for stopping by, chatting some ball.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. It's Old School. We'll be back to talk some football with Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman on the other side.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Make this your best football season yet with help from Limitless Mail. If you're struggling with low energy, muscle loss, brain fog, belly fat, mood swings, it's likely low testosterone, and Limitless Mail can fix that. We've helped over 100,000 men feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more like themselves again. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Take control. Book your free consult today at limitlessmail.com. That's limitlessmail.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Midwest Bank is proud to serve Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank making local decisions, supporting community organizations, and helping businesses succeed with 10 locations throughout the state from Wisner to Deschler, Norfolk to York, and right here in Lincoln too. Whether you're opening a checking account, buying your first home, In need of an ag loan or in search of cash management services for your business, we're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red, eat at Amigos, and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor, and we want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Old School with Foreman and Oerman. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That it is. Welcome into hour 2 of Old School, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredient Butcher Shop. Don't forget, tomorrow is Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East location, 85th and Old Cheney. Get out there, get lunch starting at 11. First come and first serve. If he's here, Husker Hall of Famer, linebacker Jay Foreman. Jay, welcome to the show. What's good?
You know, it's a balmy day out there. It's super cold. So trying to just warm up a little bit. No, just playing. Hey, we're about a week away, man.
8 days.
Yeah.
It's an even number. We know you like those.
Yes. We're about a week away. And so the hay isn't in the barn, but you're starting to
bail it up.
And do they tie that stuff up or they just roll it up super tight?
No, I think they have the little wires around it.
Yeah.
Should be how it stays together.
There you go.
Can't say I've ever seen it up close.
I've seen it as close as I want to be.
Just close enough to tell it's in a bale.
Yeah.
Jay, lots to get to in the football realm. DP and I got a lot of baseball chatter out of the way in the first hour because I know it's football season for most of you, but the Royals are making a playoff push, so I had to opine on some baseball. But I have a fun exercise for us here in this segment.
All right.
College football and NFL combination win totals. So this was keyed by a text from Hoff, fellow Colts fan on the text line. He was going back and forth with me a little bit about the Anthony Richardson stuff. And I asked him, if I gave you Colts and Huskers combined win total over under of 16.5, which way are you going? Hoff said that's a tough line. So between the Indianapolis Colts and the Nebraska Cornhuskers, I give you 16.5 wins between the two of them.
So they got to win 17 to win.
17 to win. Over under. I kind of like the line. Kind of scares me.
Over.
You like the over?
Wait, so
that's 7 or 8 for Nebraska.
It's at least 8 for Nebraska.
So then Colts got to get
9.
9.
I can see that. And I guess even with Daniel Jones.
Because of Daniel Jones, as you tried to convince me yesterday.
But the more that I start talking to you, I'm less convinced.
That's what I'm saying. I kind of like the line. I think it's close.
If they don't hit, it's because of the Colts.
I would tend to agree with that. Let's take it to your realm, Jay. Bills and Huskers, 20.5.
Oh, yeah.
That's 13 for the Bills and 8.
Yeah. Doesn't even matter.
12 and 9.
However you get it. Yeah. You know exactly what Buffalo's going to do. House everybody.
I mean, winning 12 games is not easy in the NFL, I've been told.
It's not. But I'm not going to let you talk me off Buffalo.
How many wins is it going to take to win the AFC East this year? Because I think 11 gets you the South. 10 or 11 gets you the South.
12-5. 12-5. I think it's going to be more competitive than it has been. I think the Dolphins are a team. They won't be very good, but they'll upset somebody late in the season or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think
New England's ought to be tougher.
New England would be tougher, and I think the Jets will be tougher.
Okay. Texans and Huskers, 18.5.
Now that's tough. That's tough. And again, I think the Huskers with the schedule should be okay.
And you're operating off of 8 wins for the Huskers for pretty much all of these.
Yeah, and then Houston. I don't know.
They got to get 10 then, Jay. Or you got to get 11.
That offensive line.
It is not good. It is problematic.
And you don't have I mean, we got Nico Collins. I believe he's a number 1. I don't know if he's a 1A, if you know what I mean.
How far behind is Tank Dell in that 1 versus 2 conversation?
Well, Tank's more of a slot. If he's healthy, then that just changes everything.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. But I don't know I don't know what his status is yet.
7611 says Colts will be lucky to get 5 wins this year. Here's the thing. Steichen has gotten 17 wins the last 2 years. 9-8 and 8-9. The Colts haven't bottomed out since they had to pick in the top 4, obviously, where they took Anthony Richardson after the 2022 season. The Colts are going to be competitive, chippy, tough enough, right? They'll be a pain. They'll be a thorn. Last year, the defense got shredded at times. Gus Bradley out, Lou Anarumo in. That's what I'm most curious to see for the Colts, Jay, is how do they take to the Lou Anarumo scheme, and how does that mix with what Shane Steichen wants to do with the offense, right? I mean, what Lou Anarumo did in Cincinnati worked for a couple years, and then teams figured it out. That was Gus Bradley's big problem, not changing. They might have the opposite problem with Anarumo, is he asks a lot of his guys, it's the exotic stuff more so than the Bradley vanilla.
Well, I think the thing that helps him, he has some, if they stay healthy, he has 3 bona fide pass rushers, and you got a guy up the middle. That's where Cincinnati was dangerous. They could drop 7 and rush 4.
Right.
That's what made the defense go. Now, granted, he did really good against the Chiefs, played, 2 high safeties, get out of the screen, keep everything in front of you, pass rush to get there, cause havoc, make tackles. I think the Colts have a 7 through 12 roster. That means of the 32 teams, I think they have anywhere from a 7 to 12 roster.
For how many more years, though? That's the next question.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with salary cap. But I think they have a pretty good roster. They can win now with that roster. They can win the AFC South if Daniel Jones doesn't Daniel Jones.
If he's the 20th best quarterback in the NFL, they got a chance.
And Jonathan Taylor's healthy,
they're
going to be a problem. I think the biggest thing with the Colts right now and last year was the health. That's pretty much the league, but yeah, especially with them.
I'll give you the Chiefs Huskers over under, same number as Bills Huskers, 20.5.
Yeah.
Taking it? Okay. Steelers Huskers, 18.5.
I'm going to go with Mr. Consistency.
Taking Tomlin to get 11?
I'm going to go with, if Tomlin goes 10, then we go 10, then we go 9. I think it'll work. I think it's going to work. Now, Aaron's got to be healthy.
On his best behavior.
Yeah, he's got to be on his best behavior. But I think he'll do, I think it'll be all right.
Bears Huskers, 16.5.
That's the hardest one.
Are you buying Ben Johnson?
I believe in the coach.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I believe in the players.
Okay.
But they drafted well. They free agency even better.
Made the Tooney trade.
I like their staff.
You
know what? I'll go out on a limb. I'll go with the Bears.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give them a break.
Let's say the Bears win. We'll give them 10 games for the purpose of the exercise here. Where does that put them in the NFC North? I mean, that is going to be a competitive division. Detroit.
See, I think the Vikings take a step back. I think The Packers stay even.
So Vikings, not like tanking bad, but like just kind of mediocre 7-11, 8-9 range.
Yeah, 8-9.
7-10, I guess. Yeah.
Around there. It's a shoulda, coulda, woulda year for them. I think it's a growth year for McCarthy.
Packers get 10, maybe 11.
And then I think Detroit is the X factor. Those first 4 games will let you know if Detroit's going to make it or not.
The talent is there, but like you talked about with the Eagles, losing both coordinators,
it takes a year to get back right because the continuity isn't there. The confidence. I don't think the Bears make the playoffs. I think them and the Vikings are they're battling out for who's going to be the third place.
I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it. Last one then, just for kicks and gigs. Of course, our resident Packers fan, Mississippi Mud Dog, says Packers are going to win the division. Not saying it's off the table.
I can see that.
It's there. They'll be competitive. They'd probably be my pick for second right now. I like Detroit's roster top to bottom a little bit more than I do Green Bay's. The hand finger injury.
It's the same. Yeah, and that that's crucial time in training camp. It's the same roster. Just different guy. But I trust it. I like Dan Campbell, man. I think he brings. I think he lessens. Like he smooths out some of the rough edges that the 2 new coordinators might experience. I think he's a better X's and O's and a better coach than people give him credit for. I think people keep going back to that first press conference and the whole thing.
Biting kneecaps.
Yeah, biting kneecaps. Well, I knew what he was saying. I've been there. You're saying something, and people are killing you for it. But I think those two. I think Detroit's going to come down a little bit, and rightfully so. It's a harder schedule. Expectations are higher. I think Green Bay is going to kind of stay the same, and I think the Vikings are going to level off, and I think for the Bears they're going to level up, but it's not going to be playoffs.
And that could be another win or 2 for the Bears just in the division, depending on how the rest of that shakes out. Who's the college football equivalent to Dan Campbell?
What, like personality-wise?
Personality-wise, maybe, yeah. It'd
be Kirby.
You think Kirby? Okay, I see it.
Or at the time, I wouldn't say Harbaugh. I'd probably say Kirby. With the intensity, physicalness in practice. Very demanding, but very encouraging. He pushes you more mentally than physically. Or as much.
I see it.
I mean, obviously, Dan Campbell is significantly bigger and better shape than Kirby.
Hey, round is a shape.
Yeah. Dan Campbell has not missed the workout.
He is not. Cowboys Huskers, 15.5.
I'm going to take that. I'm going to say this, and I hate saying it. Number 2 things. I think the Cowboys are going to be better than what people give them credit for if they bring back Micah Parsons. That's number 1. So I think they'll make it. And pretty much the Huskers are like the Cowboys. Nebraska is America's team, especially around here. The Jerry Jones docuseries is actually excellent. Have you seen it?
I saw some of the clips of it. I haven't watched it front to back yet.
That dude, hey, if you could write a story, you're like, okay, fresh out of college, $100 million, buy the All right, I'll buy the Cowboys.
Don't mind if I do.
Fire Tom Landry, bring your buddy in here, own the team. Yeah, I'm a little old, got me a yacht. All right, I'm gonna do a docu-series on my life. He going out like a champion. I mean, obviously that's all pro Cowboys, pro Jerry, but it's actually, it's pretty good.
Where you have Dak Prescott coming back?
If healthy, he's going to do the same thing.
That's a top 10 dude in the league if he's healthy. Plus CD. I still like that. Tight end's fine. Offensive line.
Ferguson is good.
Yeah.
Like the running backs. The defense is drafted in free agency. They were too small. And I think they got a little bit more physical.
Especially up the middle. Because they got the Michigan?
Yeah, it was Mozzie Smith.
Oh, yeah.
I think they'll be okay.
How many wins is it going to take to win the NFC East? Philly.
Philly's going to be at least 12.
Giants are still bad.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Commanders. I think they're the X factor in that division.
Do you believe in the Commanders? Do you believe that? I just think it's going to be
I don't think they get 12 again. I can see him winning double digits. I don't know if they get to 12.
Okay, then what does Dallas do?
I think best case for Dallas is probably 11. Best case.
And how
Everything
many did
goes
they win
right.
last year again?
Like 7. Either 6 and 11, 7 and 10, somewhere in that range.
So do you think Dak Prescott, Pickens are worth 4 victories?
I think
with the schedule.
I think normal regression maybe from Jaden Daniels as a sophomore, right? You talk about that all the time. There's more film on you now, and that's going to be hard to replicate. Really, my issues with the Commanders are less so Jaden Daniels and more Dan Quinn. I like Dan Quinn. I don't love Dan Quinn. Maybe that's unfair of me, but I'm not fully sold on him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Terry McLaurin situation is out there hanging over the Commanders' heads. Defense should be fine, but I think normal statistical regression for the Redskins. I think Dak with something to prove. I think Dak is going to have to paper over some mistakes from Brian Schottenheimer, which I don't know if I fully trust him to do. But I could see Washington winning 10, Dallas winning, 8, 9. I think that's most likely for Dallas. I think it's going to be tight between those two for second.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that worries me about Dallas is maybe Schottenheimer, but you've seen first-year coaches do well.
You have?
I mean, I know he's had more table talk about football than majority of guys in the coaching business.
Yeah.
I think he's seen things and been able to kind of be exposed to things that probably makes him more ready than, I guess, a quote-unquote lifer. You got to think Bruce Arians is kind of like him. Now, I don't think Brian Schottenheimer's offenses have been as explosive and stat wise is consistent as Bruce Arians, but Bruce Arians had to wait forever to somebody take a chance on him. So the playbook is there. It's just it'll be interesting to see how when he starts to coach, how he's able to kind of steer this ship.
One of the Cowboys sites put out kind of a review of Brian Schottenheimer. This is just going to be super high level, right? This is going to drill down into the nitty gritty. His first stint when he was in New York, Eric Mangini was head coach. Jets ranked 18th, 25th, and 9th in points scored per games.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Favre was the quarterback for that year where they were top 10. Rex Ryan comes in. Schottenheimer stays 17th, 12th, and 12th in scoring with Mark Sanchez at quarterback. He went to the Rams. His offense has finished 25th, 21st, and 21st behind Sam Bradford, Kellen Clemens, Austin Davis, and Sean Hill. At Georgia in 2015, Bulldogs ranked 79th in the country in scoring with Grayson Lambert at quarterback. Then he's probably best known for his time in Seattle. That's where he reemerged in the NFL with Russell Wilson as quarterback. His offenses were 6th, 9th, and 8th in scoring, 15th, 8th, and 12th in yards. Never higher than 13th in passing, but 1st, 4th, and 12th in rushing yards. And that wasn't young Russ either. That was 2018, 19, and 20, where you knew what Russ was at that point.
So you just got to expect the same. And maybe a couple spots better because they have 2 legit receivers.
Mm-hmm.
If the defense takes that same type of growth, then you're really in a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure about the Commanders because I know you were saying that you're not sold on Dan Quinn, but the biggest thing you got to look at the staff. He has a pretty dang good staff.
Okay.
Now here's the bigger question for you: do you really believe in the Bachelor as the offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury? That's really because I think. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I will always, I guess, be accountable or apologize. I've been on Pocket Hercules, right, for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He played well last year. He showed true maturity and growth. And you know what? I'll even say, even for Cliff Kingsbury, last year, I felt like it was his best coaching ever. He was innovative. They were physical. They were able to adjust. Then they were able to readjust. He coached totally different than I expected.
Do you think it happens for another year, though? Because for me, I still worry it's a little too simplistic, but that can work when you have Superman like Jaden Daniels, when you have a true one like Terry McLaurin. We'll see what Debo's got left in the tank. Maybe if Eckler's healthy, that's another dynamic that he can provide to that team as well. I don't want to be completely colored and soured by the past, because maybe Cliff Kingsbury is a better offensive coordinator than head coach. And that's fine. If that's all he's going to be, he can focus on offensive game planning. Hey, Jaden, what do you like? What are you comfortable with? Where can we push you to grow by 5% to keep defenses off balance? If that's his best role and he can follow up last year with another good, productive year out of Jaden Daniels, that's wonderful. Problem was in Arizona, it got stale. It was too simple at times, even for a guy like Kyler Murray, where you'd think you could open up the playbook and have a lot more at your disposal. Maybe Cliff Kingsbury's turned over a new leaf. I hope for his sake he has. The Commanders were so fun to watch offensively last year. He's got to prove it this year, and then I'll be more bought in.
Yeah, and then you always wonder, was that the immature, entitled Kyler Murray, or was it
And Cliff Kingsbury, for that matter.
Yeah, trying to appease his protege.
But also taking that jump from Tech to the NFL, UFC to the NFL.
But you got to think he was hired essentially for Kyler Murray.
Yes.
So you, in the back of your mind, I got to be right for him because that makes me right. Now, whatever. The only thing that worries me about those Commanders is I would take the Colts offense. I would take the Colts overall. Jaden Daniels is significantly better than Daniel Jones and Richardson put together.
Probably doubled.
But skill position wise, I go with the Colts, especially on the outside.
You like Pittman, Downs, Pierce,
they're
Mitchell?
young. Now, Terry McLaurin is a guy, but Debo Samuel a little bit older too. Noah Brown. Okay, we got to see it again. Okay, then let's look at running back here. Let's look at running back. Okay, Brian Robinson Jr., he's on the trading block. So you can't – then you got Austin Eckler, Jeremy McNichols, and Rodriguez.
Well, that Bill McCloskey guy. Merritt, whatever.
Yeah, you got Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt.
Who wants to go by Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go from Ja'Cory to Bill? But that's fine.
Bill Barney Jr., wearing number 2 for Nebraska football this year.
So it's great that you're a preseason story.
We see those all the time.
But it's different when it comes here in 2 weeks and you got to, really be live on stage. That's where I really worry about the Commanders doing it again. And let's not, really turn our nose up or turn our, a blind eye to the Giants. The Giants will be better. They will be better. So.
But how much?
Enough to knock the Commanders off.
Is that because of the quarterback position?
Yeah, you got James. First of all, you got Russell Wilson or Jameis. And you better hope Jameis don't get in there. In New York is on.
The number of quotes that we can get from Jameis in New York.
Jameis will just go in and rally. He'll be getting free pizza down there in Little Italy and all that stuff.
Eat some W's. There's a W in New York, just like there was a W in New Orleans.
I think the two teams that are most interesting to see if they can back up last year's success are the Commanders and the Vikings. And obviously, I hope the Vikings do, and obviously DP hopes the Commanders do. But I think the Vikings is all going to be how they start, and that defense is going to have to lead it. And then Justin Jefferson is going to have to be healthy all year. Also, let's not forget, Addison is suspended 3 games.
Yeah. Tough way to break in a rookie quarterback.
Is coming off injury. So it's gonna be a little bit of tough sledding. If they can keep their head above water, then they're gonna be right on track. So I do think J.J. McCarthy will play well. I do think O'Connell does really well with quarterbacks.
Who does J.J. McCarthy need to model his game after in the NFL? Is he?
He needs to be.
Is he Jalen Hurts-ish? Probably not as good with the legs.
He needs to be a bootleg version of Joe Burrow. He doesn't have the arm talent, but Joe Burrow will gut punch you with the off schedule, quarterback, scramble, first down. He'll make the good throw. He's tremendous, especially early in his career, clock management and making the right play. That's where he needs to be. Get it to your guy. Get it to Justin Jefferson like he did Jamar Chase. Get it to Addison just like T. Higgins. Get it to Hawkinson like he had Azuma. and then line up when you got, Jones and all them, and then 4-minute drill them to death, and then make that one or two, spectacular, easy, normal, spectacular play, and then you're playing it. I don't think if you expect, and it's not going to be Joe Burrow coming in lighting the league up. It's going to be Joe Burrow being cool, calm, and collective and taking what the defense gives you.
And see, I just think that's underrating Burrow's processing ability and how accurate he is.
Yeah.
I'm looking more like, can J.J. McCarthy be what Daniel Jones was supposed to be?
No, how about this?
Or Russell Wilson minus the beautiful deep ball.
Let's compromise Russell Wilson before he got the big head, before he started dating iconic suits. You know what I mean? And Daniel Jones with a healthy, now when he had a healthy Saquon Barkley, a better than average offensive line, that Daniel Jones. But he's not as fast as Daniel Jones.
Can he be Baker?
If he's this version of Baker Mayfield.
I'm not saying year one, but eventually.
Yeah. The first year in Tampa when Baker kind of started to take over the team, if he's that, they might win the division.
It's on the table for him.
Listen, Brian Flores could take anybody and everybody. He's gonna bring the house. They're gonna play defense. And you actually have, when everybody's either healthy or not on suspended, they have really good skill positions, guys. They got a better than average offensive line if they perform like they should. They spent a first-round pick on the guard from Ohio State, I think, who's physical, which that was a weakness for them, right? Now, you lost Robinson, to free agency, but we'll see what they do with the other guys. I think the guy they have is big Darashow, I think his name is.
Christian Darrisaw?
Yeah. So he's, athletically, he's there. So I don't know. I think
one thing real quick, Neil on the text line says, if JJ doesn't have outstanding running numbers, he'll fail as a quarterback. His arm talent is bottom 10 in the NFL. Harbaugh liked his arm talent, just didn't ask him to do a whole lot at Michigan. So,
well, you didn't have to. They were really.
It's nice to be able to see it. It's nice to not have to use it.
But I think he has better arm talent than people give him credit for. And I always question people, what is arm talent to you? Because arm talent to Neil is different than John Gruden. It's different to Shanahan. It's different to McVay.
They're different kinds of arm talent.
Right.
It's all encompassing. Let's go to break and let's touch on that, because I think there's a lot we can get into.
Right.
We'll go to break, more Old School after this.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor, and we want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
It seems like just the other day, I was building my first house. I've seen many changes to our building market in Lincoln. It's been a fun road.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, we hear this a lot where I don't want to live in a cookie cutter home. Well, let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. One thing that we started doing early on was we started building neighborhoods. I'm a firm believer in character in your street and in your neighborhood. I like choice. I like variation. I like maybe something a little bit different in a neighborhood that you don't see in every neighborhood. I think it's great to have choices, its uniqueness, and I think that's what gives a neighborhood character. And I think that's what we've done over the years.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811, online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
No cravings, no hunger pains, no struggle. Thanks to GLP-1s from Limitless Mail, weight loss is possible. Picture this. Your clothes fit better, your energy's up, your doctor's impressed, and your friends start noticing. Limitless Mail's GLP-1 program is medically monitored and changing men's lives. There's no better time than now to get on board. Lose the weight, better your health, gain your confidence without being hungry. Free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on Old School. This segment of the show brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Lots of great stuff going on down there. Got a family-owned and operated company based out of Hallam, Nebraska. They offer full estimates or free estimates, full window replacements, all vinyl triple-pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while still keeping their prices affordable. You can learn more by giving them a call at 402-430-3852, or you can visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. All right, on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line, Neil kind of started a debate for us that we're going to continue to get into here. He said J.J. McCarthy's arm talent is bottom 10% in the NFL. And Jay, your main point was, well, that depends on how you grade it, right? There's lots of different aspects to arm talent. It's objective and subjective at the same time. When you think arm talent, what does that mean to you?
Well, when I think arm talent, I think like Dan Marino. I mean, that's just that
pretty good example.
Yeah, I mean that's probably extreme. Yeah, I think arm talent just in the eyes of the beholder. I think JJ McCarthy can throw the ball effective enough to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I think there's plenty of quarterbacks that have been successful without his arm strength or talent. One that comes to mind, which I think his got underestimated, but I think JJ McCarthy's is probably right there, or arm talent ahead of his at this point in his career is Drew Brees.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I think, he has a strong enough arm. He doesn't have to be like super sexy per se, but I think he's got enough arm strength and arm talent to be more than effective. I think obviously coming from a run first offense, very, very controlled. I think as he continued to grow and mature, he started to do more, and then he started to make big time throws.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, it doesn't matter whether Connor Stallions gave him the coverage or not. He was making some big time throws. It's kind of like along the path of Drew Aller. And this is crazy where you heard Todd McShay, they're talking about Drew Aller like they forgot last year.
Mm-hmm.
But he's progressed significantly from 2 years ago to last year. They're expecting the same. Now you'd like to say that JJ McCarthy's on that same path, but he got hurt last year. I think he'll be just fine. I think the biggest thing for him is going to be the ability to anticipate, the ability to adjust when they adjust to you, and then how O'Connell marries his offense to the skill set of JJ McCarthy, because his skill set is significantly different than Sam Darnold's,
Mm-hmm.
which I think Sam Darnold probably has a better understanding of NFL offenses right now than McCarthy.
I would hope so for a guy that's been in the league that long compared to a rookie. But I think JJ McCarthy might also have a little bit of a head start, given that Harbaugh ran some NFL stuff, right? I mean, that's an NFL guy, did a lot of that same stuff at Stanford as well, and former quarterback himself. So I don't think JJ McCarthy is, behind for a guy entering his first year playing in the NFL, but he just hasn't seen that many reps. When it comes to arm talent, Jay, I mean, I think it's all encompassing, right? I think most people would think of distance and velocity when it comes to arm talent. How far can this guy throw it? How fast can you get it there? Can you fit it into windows? But then you forget there's a whole nother category of guys that maybe don't have the 65, 70-yard arm strength, but have that ability to put the ball right where they want it when they need to, right? I think it's about having a good enough arm for the level that you're playing at, right? Because most of those throws deep down the field are 35, 40 yards, not 55, 60 yards for the most part.
Yeah.
Every NFL quarterback should have that in their repertoire.
Yeah, that's got to be a guarantee. If Justin Jefferson's running wide open or has a couple steps on a corner, you got to be able to hit him in stride for 6 points. Now, you don't want him to have to throttle down and all that stuff. So I think he has a more than capable arm. I think the biggest thing for him and the quarterbacks which I think the true definite, this to me right now, arm talent is the ability to throw guys open. Understanding where to throw the same route to 2 or 3 different receivers so they can be the best that they can be after they get the ball.
And only some of that is on the arm, because a lot of that comes from footwork, base, core, and you were saying to me, most importantly, mentality.
Yeah.
So much of arm comes from, can I diagnose what the defense is doing before the snap? Can I anticipate what they're going to do after the snap? And then how do I react? Do I have the throw in my bag once the live bullets are flying?
If I can dissect the defense and throw, bang 8, skinny post right when he comes out of the break, I can guarantee you somebody that throws it with impeccable timing and accuracy, and then versus somebody that's maybe a little bit late on that read and just, fires it in there, you won't know a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, I'll take the first guy because you'll get more big plays out of the first guy.
I agree.
Yeah, and
I'm with you. Because there's the guys that, like Josh Allen and Ben Roethlisberger, big arms. I mean, Allen's tamed it down, right? His completion percentage has gone up. Turnovers have gone down. We know that video of him throwing the ball out of the stadium, right? That's arm talent. Joe Burrow doesn't have that arm.
Yeah.
Peyton and Tom didn't have that arm. But they had every throw in the book, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for every Greg Maddux, there's a Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
Both those guys had arm talent.
Yeah.
It just looks and sounds a little different.
Yeah, Nolan Ryan hellified accurate with that fastball, and he was intimidating. That's where the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Just think of Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes can play. He's the Cam, and he can give it to you any way you want.
He, to me, feels like the spiritual successor to Aaron Rodgers in a lot of ways.
Yeah. He can give it, and you know what? The modern day version of arm talent is Aaron Rodgers. That's why people always say he hasn't maximized his career. With that arm talent and the times that you had home field advantage in your supporting cast, probably 1 or 2 more Super Bowls.
Yeah.
It's probably Aaron Rodgers. That's when Aaron Rodgers was rolling, he was pretty much unstoppable.
Maybe the most well-rounded arm in NFL history.
Because he could do
which I know
things.
might sound blasphemous, but between the deep ball, the short game, the touch, the intermediate, the on the run, the in the pocket, the
Off
timeliness,
schedule.
off schedule, had some clutch moments,
And
Hail
then,
Marys.
and then with the mindset, when his mind's right. Yeah.
So arm talent is absolutely all-encompassing.
And Neil, if I had to pick one between Anthony Richardson when he came out and J.J. McCarthy, the answer is twofold. I would have taken Anthony Richardson because he didn't go to Michigan. But if I had to start a franchise or be the head coach and pick one of those two to take me to the playoffs as a rookie, I'm going to take J.J. McCarthy because, number one, he knows what it takes to win. He's been a winner. Now, whatever you think about Connor Stallion, J.J. McCarthy's been a winner, and he's gotten significantly better, or at least I felt he did every single year. We saw him right here in Nebraska. That pass that he threw at the end of at the back in the end zone. And
Roman Wilson caught it over Gifford's helmet. That's an NFL throw.
Yeah. So I think, the funny thing about it is as soon as guys get drafted, all you hear about is what they can't do. Bo Nix, too old. Does he have the arm talent? Why did Sean Payton take him? What did you take him for? He was accurate on intermediate to mid yardage throws. He was the most. He said he was the most accurate in the nation. He was mature. He could process information, and he fit his scheme, both physically and obviously mentally. I think it's funny where you see guys that get drafted. Now, some justifiably so, they poke holes in their game. But a lot of these guys hadn't even played yet, and they're already, saying what he can't do. Versus down there in New Orleans, they took your boy from Louisville, and they're trying to find any way possible not to play Spencer Rattler. With the 40th pick, do you know what? Let's look at this NFL draft. We're gonna get out of here right now.
Well, you do that. I was also heading to Sports Reference to look at the 2023 NFL draft because, Jay, when I think about that conversation, Anthony Richardson or J.J. McCarthy, who would you have taken if you had your preference? Dare I say the Commanders / Redskins might have gotten it right by drafting both RG3 and Kirk Cousins? RG3 was the ceiling guy. Dual threat ability, good enough arm, a little bit of a project as a passer, but could run the ball. And then you get Kirk Cousins in there, steady pocket guy, Michigan State. You thought, you're getting from the Mark D'Antonio era. What if the Colts hadn't just taken Anthony Richardson, but later on in the draft, they had taken a flyer on Stetson Bennett or Aiden O'Connell, a guy just down the road from them at Purdue, even Clayton Tune, right down from Houston, right? Where that Anthony Richardson is the guy you want to pour into and develop. Yeah. But almost like the Cardinals did, right? They take Josh Rosen 1 year. Nope, that's not enough. We got to go get Pocket Hercules, Kyler Murray. We've seen this work in college. And I know the dynamics aren't the same, especially with the rosters and everything. But you see how Ohio State has recruited quarterbacks, how Oklahoma recruited quarterbacks, and now USC, although that's kind of gone off the rails with Lincoln Riley a little bit now too. Why develop one quarterback when you can develop two? Yeah. For different roles, and then you have an insurance plan just in case.
Especially if a guy has, questions or holes in his game that they can be answered or fixed, but it's going to take some time. And if you have somebody that can actually hold the fort down, and obviously I think Kirk Cousins was a lot better in college than people gave him credit for. It was kind of like how Tom Brady, Kirk Cousins was doing some of those things too. Putting up big numbers, playing well in big games. He's just, he's average. Right? But Now back to your New Orleans Saints with Tyler Shaw. Shuck, whatever his name.
It doesn't look like him. It is Shuck.
Shuck. I mean, you could have got, for an aging defense, Cam Jordan's probably done, right? So you could have got the edge from Boston College that didn't play against us.
Mm-hmm.
You could have got Tua Umalu from Ohio State. You probably you could have got Will Johnson, who's killing it for the Cardinals right now.
Mm-hmm.
You could have got offense. You could have got Ursay
from
Minnesota. Excuse me. And all would have been fine at that spot, right? You could have got, I guess, linebacker help, Demetrius Knight, who had an excellent year. You could have got our boy Nick Skurtine from Texas A&M
by way of Purdue.
By the way of Purdue, you could have traded down and got the edge from UCLA. You could have got Benjamin Morrison, the corner. You always need corners.
Mm-hmm.
And you take a quarterback that ever since they've been in rookie minicamp, there's like, this dude is not good.
Mm-hmm. He's Bo Nix without the upside right now.
You could have, I mean, it's not even about Shedeur Sanders. You would have been better off drafting Dylan Gabriel.
Right?
Kellen Moore, you're a lefty.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lefty. Marry your offense to him.
Mm-hmm.
He gives you a little bit more out there on the edge. You could have went play action, RPO, Jalen Hurts, kind of just a little bit of a mini version, obviously. Short passing game, throw it over top with Olave.
Mm-hmm.
And really I see why you picked him in the third round.
Olave staying healthy is going to be such a key for whoever that quarterback is.
Yeah.
He was tearing it up.
But that's what you could have done in the third round.
Yeah. Now, we're not talking first or second.
Yeah.
We're talking still there in the third.
And then you could have took the big defensive tackle from Texas, the other one that you took the other part of Broton. You could have took what's his name, Vernon Collins or Collins in the second round, and drafted a quarterback in the third, maybe even the fourth. Now you're franchise. Now you're done. And it's no different than with Anthony Richardson. Now we're back real quick before we go to break. Here's what people don't understand about this decision. You essentially, Shane Steichen, has ruined his career. 85%. That 15% has to be him essentially coaching himself, getting extra work by a quarterback guru outside of the time that you're there for the Colts, which you're there as a quarterback with Daniel Jones and, studying tape. So now you got to put in extra work. And then more importantly, you have to find a legitimate chance to resurface or, to reinvent yourself.
You better have a good agent that knows someone who's willing to give you a chance.
It's essentially by chance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what he has to hope for is an opportunity to show enough improvement while he's running scout team reps and the little reps that he's getting with the ones or twos, that once he gets in the game, he can kind of carve out, some success like Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get an opportunity. But here's the problem. The quarterback class this year led to Justin Fields getting paid like a starter.
Yeah.
That will not reign true for Anthony Richardson in a year or two.
Well, even in 2026,
right?
When he's on the fourth year of that option or the fourth year of his deal.
And do you really believe in him? You're going to give him a fifth year, and you essentially have benched him 3 times. I mean, at some point, you just got to walk in and say, you know what, we messed up, man. To give you a chance in your career, can we just part ways the right way and just go from there?
Better for you, better for us.
Yeah.
Sorry about it. Too late to take back. Yeah.
Because Shane Steichen already let you know, I'm starting this dude to save my job.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I put you in, I really don't want you in. And then what's going to happen? Say Anthony Richardson gets in there and goes lights out, and they end up somehow getting in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
What's that relationship like? Thanks for saving my job.
You want this extension?
Yeah. I didn't
I'm
really,
cool.
You know what? Hey, you know what he's going to say? Austin, that really wasn't me. That was Ballard.
Right.
Yeah.
It was Ursay.
Yeah. Yeah.
May he RIP.
Yeah, it's not a good situation, but it's the NFL. We'll see what happens. And so, I don't know. Oh well, we'll take a quick break.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
I'll pick your brain a little bit during break before we're going to go for this last segment, because I have an interesting hypothetical related to Anthony Richardson. I think that's where I want to take it. We'll probably do that in the short segment.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. Go bold this summer and fall with endless possibilities. Stop in now for the best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coats, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
No cravings, no hunger pains, no struggle. Thanks to GLP-1s from Limitless Mail, weight loss is possible. Picture this. Your clothes fit better, your energy's up, your doctor's impressed, and your friends start noticing. Limitless Mail's GLP-1 program is medically monitored and changing men's lives. There's no better time than now to get on board. Lose the weight, better your health, gain your confidence without being hungry. Free consult at limitlessmail.com.
An overdose can happen in front of you and you might not realize it. Blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, choking sounds, unresponsive to touch or sounds. These signs aren't always obvious, but they can be deadly. Knowing what to do could save your friend, your neighbor, your child. Learn more by visiting myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can be ready before it happens. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Looking for a fun way to give back? Join us for the 2025 Kicks for Kids Nebraska Fun Run Walk, presented by Pinnacle Bank, on Saturday, August 23rd at James Arthur Vineyard. Enjoy a scenic 5K through beautiful grounds. Every step helps provide shoes to kids in Lincoln and Lancaster County schools, with options for adults, wine included, and kids. Registration fees include a t-shirt, medal, and bag. Sign up today and make a difference at kicksforkidsnebraska.org.
We strive to help people get into home ownership. That is the American dream. Having something that you can go home at night and say, this is mine, is very important. The great thing about Remington Homes is affordability.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about their exciting new division, Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
The exciting thing about a Remington home is you get to choose your floor plan from predetermined floor plans. We give you a lot of choices, and you couple that with our great lot selection in all different areas. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back putting a bow on hour 2 of Old School. This segment brought to you by Love Volleyball Nebraska. Get your tickets today to see Love Volleyball Nebraska play all across the state. Visit the love.com portal. See all sorts of former Huskers, national champions, Olympic champions, national team players, all sorts of incredible talent taking the floor for Love Volleyball Nebraska this coming season. I'm Austin Oerman, joined by Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman here on Old School with Foreman and Oerman. All right, Jay, here's the question. Not after 2025, but after 2026, who is more likely to still be a member of their current franchise? Is it Anthony Richardson with the Colts or Micah Parsons with the Dallas Cowboys?
I think Michael Parsons will be there for 2 or 3 more years, reluctantly. I mean, he'll be paid, but it'll be on the franchise tag and all that stuff.
Does he get the double tag, or do you think
if they don't pay him, 2 things are going to happen. They're either going to pay him like the week of the game, Jerry Jones going all the way back like with Inman or something like that, or he's going to come in and play. If I was him, I would say skip the 10 games and play 6, but man, you can't pass up that money. I'm bringing it. I'm playing like I might try to get a personal foul every game because now you know what I'm saying. But I think he'll be there. I could see Anthony Richardson because I sent you what his agent said. When an agent talks like that,
mm-hmm.
Here, let's get this quote here.
I'm working on getting it
I'll get
pulled
it
up as well.
Let's see.
We have a lot to discuss. Trust is a big factor, and that is at best questionable right now. Anthony came back and made the improvements in the areas he needed to improve, and by all accounts, he had a great camp.
Yeah. When he says it's questionable at best, that he's ready. Therefore, the trust is gone. So essentially, he's drawing a line. Let my client go, which then affects you financially. Let him go prosper somewhere else, which then therefore could help you get fired. Because he doesn't want to play for it. It's the Bryce Young, but except for Bryce Young got the opportunity. Now he got the opportunity. Now your boy
Canales. Dang, I'm stuck with him.
Oh man, you're a lot cuter than I thought you were. That was a bad picture. What is it? What do you call it?
The lighting was bad.
What does it say? You look better in person than in the picture.
The filter didn't do you justice.
The filter you forgot to put your filter on. Oh man, you're beautiful without the filter. You should just be like that. Yeah, he's got to hope that he gets an opportunity, and then if he gets an opportunity, legit opportunity to do his thing, he's got to do his thing. But the hard thing is just maturity thing. But I thought he saw some improvement, but it just lets you know where Ballard maybe has told Steichen where he's at or where they're both at, considering Irsay's daughter is not playing. She's playing absolutely no games.
0 of them.
0. Water boy, if you ain't watering, gone. Offensive coordinator, if you sound like a Yahoo.
You ain't coordinating?
Gone. She's the best part about her, she's like, I just want to see what you sound like in the most high intense like pressure environment. I want to listen to this.
It's savvy. I like that move from her.
I like the move, but it's not a true representation of who you are as a coach. Because
she's also at practices and whatnot.
Right. But that's even
just
worse.
Another piece of the
puzzle. That's even worse. Now I'm comparing you to from a controlled environment to an uncontrolled environment or the high pressure. Just imagine you out there, and I'm the linebacker coach. Franklin's out there.
He needs to get off the podcast, by the way.
Yeah, he got brand new.
He got brand new.
He's getting a lot of free steaks and shrimp at Elmo's. But just imagine he gets knocked out or he knocks somebody out. The message that you're going to hear through the headset is not going to be as good as it was as I'm getting after him because you play better. It's like, oh, you know what? We're in some trouble. So, I mean, it sucks for him. He's a young player. I think more. Here's what I want to ask you also before we go to break. Text line, give us your thoughts too. Are more quarterbacks' careers ruined by upper management or coaching / how they play? Or just is it upper management or the player?
I'm going to guess that it's going to be on a more micro level, more on the player and the coaching they receive, because I think when those careers are ruined or set back by ownership, it's more glaringly obvious. The conversation around is so different, right? Oh, this guy's a bust. Oh, he never had it. Oh, he never learned how to throw. Versus the Colts where, oh, well, they said they were going to be patient, and then turns out they weren't going to be patient. Oh, we're back to being patient. Nope, sorry, now we're not patient again. That, to me, is more front office than anything. And it comes through the coach, right? Why did Steichen make the decision he did to go with Daniel Jones? Because I felt Daniel Jones gave us the best chance to win football games in 2025. That's self-preservation, which tells me there's been a message from above, win or else. Show us what you got or else. So while the coach made that decision was probably made for him by ownership telling them about his job.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably 50-50 because then you got the Jamarcus Russell, which I think is definitely on upper management, but then also on him, immature, not knowing what practice habits are. Then even you look at somebody that had success, but I always felt like upper management probably didn't get, I wouldn't say get him the best because he had Brandon Marshall, but like a guy like Jay Cutler, did he really have? And I think that's more on him because he couldn't get the support based on how he was in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Or, guys like all the guys in Cleveland, it can't be all of them were that bad.
Right. I mean, clearly Baker wasn't that bad.
Well, that's it. Then then there go. That's on upper management.
Mm-hmm.
Then you obviously didn't get like David Carr.
Not
did he
that
know how to
bad.
be a pro? But I think that did you really have the weapons he needed? And then when they when they were evaluating him after his rookie year, they always brought up the 82 sacks.
Yeah. Which sacks are a quarterback stat, but only to a degree. They're not all offensive line. They're not all.
It's probably a little bit of both, but it's just that you stymie a lot of guys. A lot of guys get stymied based on the environment. Like J.P. Lawson and E.J. Manuel up in Buffalo, did they really have weapons? I mean, you brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick, and you had Lee Evans, a couple there, but really, did you have the guys you need? So I think it's all like 50-50, but I think it's also interesting about this Colts and who's going to be the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be the next guy that just gets the okie doke? Yeah, it's great. That's why I say it's great when you get drafted. They go to your living room, everybody's hyped, jumping on the couch.
Now they're kicking you to the couch.
And you get there. He's like, man, I want to go back to my dorm. So, anyways, we're going to take a quick break. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. Go bold this summer and fall with endless possibilities. Stop in now for the best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coats, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through August 24th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA Choice Bacon Wrapped Sirloin for $5.88 each. USDA Choice Boneless Chuck Roast $6.99 per pound. Bone-in smoked pork chops for $4.99 per pound. And Dungeness Crab Clusters $29.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
If the power is out, keep your fridge and freezer closed.
Perishable food lasts 4 hours in the fridge, and frozen food lasts up to 2 days if it stays below 40 degrees. See more tips at les.com/safety.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com or call 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, third hour? Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School, brought to you New Schoolway, 1040 Oak Street, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients, Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th Yankee Hill, 85th and Andermatt/Old Cheney, 168th and Maple up there in the O. Another balmy day, a lot of stuff going on, NFL news, trying to decide the futures of quarterbacks galore. Obviously, Austin covered and DP covered some baseball stuff in the first hour. But in the last hour, I guess we'll do a little Husker stuff, and officially, we are a week away. Because I always look at once you get to this point in the day, you're already in practice, unless unless you're doing it a little bit later. So now you got to think a week from today, you're fully into just keep looking at the watch. What time do I got to get up tomorrow? Okay, then it gets to 8 o'clock. Wednesday next week. I got by this time it's on.
And popping or just on?
It's on like neck bone.
Even better.
Yeah, it's on, man. Like a greasy pot of neck bones. It's on. I mean, it's that's why football is, I think, such a unique sport. You only play 12, unless you get to go to some more games, but you only get 12. You train all year round and practice all year round, and you're out in the heat. It's 90 degrees out here today, and look at Farley in there. Farley is.
What's he doing here?
I don't know.
What's he doing here?
He lost.
It's too late for you to be here, Farley. What are you doing here?
He probably looking for. I'm telling you, between him and Nick, they smell food, they come running. but I think football is so different than like baseball, where you play 162 games, 82 games in hockey and basketball, and that's why they're so important. And that's why every day you got to make every day count. You got to literally invest every single day to play the best 4 hours that you possibly can, both mentally, physically, and spiritually, to give yourself a chance to play well individually, but then obviously collectively come out with the W. And that's where they're at right now. And then it's just part of the process. There still is time, but it's a good time to be. Is that that if you've, they said they've, this is a pretty tight knit team, and so they've, bonded together. However, they have in their team environment, and then they're going to be able to put it, on display. And so, they should have a ton of confidence. They, they've worked hard. It's hot outside, so now you just got to get to the mindset of. Now, when you get into game week, your mindset has to dramatically shift to Cincinnati. Like everything that you think about on a daily basis is about playing your best to beat Cincinnati.
This is officially game planning time. Did that start Monday, or is that today, week out?
Coaches vary. Sometimes you might throw some stuff in, and you might be a week ago. You don't even know that what was going on. So I think right now, look, you don't need to overthink it. Cincinnati is Cincinnati. Nebraska's Nebraska. You know your core principles. Whether it's cover 3, 4, 1, match, cover 8, you run a little cover 6, whatever you want, fire zones or whatever. You just got to know what your job is and go out there and execute it. Now, obviously, you want to do it specifically based on that, but
make it sound so simple, Jay.
It is. If football becomes hard when you overthink it. I would say this. Listen, leverage the ball, not the block. It's one ball. That's the great thing about it. The problem is you got 300-pound dudes trying to keep you away from it.
So on the flip side of that, for offense, what are you leveraging? If you're a running back,
you game plan for each player for a scenario. You probably know, like, I would tell offensive guys, look at the linebackers' depth based on when they're blitzing, run blitz. I guess on say a passing down blitz, look how they are in coverage, read their body language, see how do they play downhill, are they hesitant, do they got good footwork? All that stuff goes into it. And then you go in your individual matchups. How am I going to get past him? And then linebackers generally will tell you, I know a lot of times you read safeties and stuff like that, but they come up with some unique defensive coverages and disguises. Look at the linebacker depth. There's always one linebacker that will give it away. You just got to identify him.
What are some of those tells as linebackers that you're trying to prevent? Is it shading? Is it how you're aligned?
Just the body language. Is he playing pass? Does he look like say it's a passing, obvious passing down, or
3rd and 7 plus?
Yeah, 3rd and 5 plus, 3rd and 6 plus, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is he, when he breaks the huddle, is he even communicating? Because if he ain't communicating, he's blitzing.
I got one job.
Because that's all he's focused on. Especially a young guy.
Mm.
Because they want to hurry up and get lined up and raise their hand and say, okay, I'm over here, I'm coming. Now, granted, they could work on stuff like that. You just look at that. You look at the depth. Is he...
Sorry, real quick pause.
Yeah.
But Nebraska, we haven't heard, is going away from the huddle. So will Nebraska even catch some of that stuff? Is that on the coaches to catch and communicate? But they can't really hear the communication. But if Nebraska's huddling up, they probably want to see the defense break their.
Well, you can see it as a running back or like a quarterback. Because if I'm a running back and I'm scanning the defense, I got to know if I'm blocking a second level blitzer. If he's at 3.5 yards, he's trying to hit it on the run. You're not blitzing at 5.5 yards. You think you're dropping. And then where is he dropping? Because then if he's dropping opposite, the blitz is coming where he's dropping to.
Right.
So those are all things you got to really try to study. And that's where you got to do a lot of work outside of the regular day. That's how you become like those, because you just never know which play it is that's going to pay off for you. And so whether it's a tip, defensively, you kind of look at the offensive linemen, how they break the huddle. Do they have a lot of weight, on their hands, it's run. Are they leaning one way or not? There's always a lineman. They're so big, they don't even know what they're doing. Because sometimes they got to lean a certain way to try to get a head start. So, then there's some running backs that generally like to bounce everything outside. Some like to cut it back. It's just all based on, your film study.
Speaking of running backs, just got this from EJ Barthel speaking at the media gathering today. Emmett Johnson was playing around 190 last year. Says he's maintained 203 to 205 so far in the offseason. What do you make about that for Emmett Johnson?
Well, I think, that's good for him. I know, I've seen him and, he's putting on good weight. And so he's going to have a bigger workload. So you got to be a little bit bigger in the Big Ten. I think the biggest thing is, that he doesn't lose his speed and quickness and shiftiness. But I think it could pay off where, he doesn't have to come off the field for a minute. He can finish the games. And then obviously being able to run behind your pads, being, let's just say 10 pounds heavier, good solid muscle, faster and stronger, maybe quicker, will allow you to break some tackles too. So, good for him. Look, when you dedicate yourself to your craft, and you're looking at it as a great opportunity, even though people knew that you kind of were going to be the starter, but you continue to get better. That's what you want. That's leadership right there. And see, that's what I was saying the other day. You don't have to be a single digit in order to do it. Emmett didn't sit, or at least just in the weight room, he didn't sit on his, off-season accolades or whatever you want to call it. He hit the weight room. He said, you know what, this is what I might need. And maybe they told him, you need to be, 195, 198, and to, withstand, we feel like, so you can withstand the Big Ten. It's a physical league.
So those 13 to 15 pounds are about strength, but more about workload in your mind?
Well,
because I thought Emmett was fine running between the tackles. He's not a bruiser by any means, but I thought he was fine between the tackles.
Yeah, but you got to think, you saw 2 or 3 games of that. 3 games.
Right, sure.
That's 4 times that this year. And teams have a little bit more tape on you, so it's going to be more physical. So, maybe he thinks that, or they think that it'll help him break some more tackles or be able to run differently. Maybe it won't be just so much, like, I won't say it's finesse, but maybe, you want to line up and run inside, outside zone. Just line up and just come right at you. You know what I'm saying? Now they did that last year, but to be able to just line up and, just kind of like Iowa, we're running, okay, outside zone here, we're running inside zone here. Okay, we're running a little tight counter. We can run a counter, whatever it is, you can run some traps. You got to be able to, withstand some hits. And then also it'll probably help him in pass blocking. So if he's got some good quicks and he's got some strength and added a little bit of weight out there in the flats, he'd give some people some problems. Look at Farley over there. See, he told you, look at him. He look at him. He eating something right there.
Yeah, boy, T-Far.
You got a little Burger King or Wendy's. And he ain't even listening because he would look over here if he was listening. You need to put a seatbelt on.
He might be 7 seconds behind, so he might get there.
Look at him. Look at it. Take a bite out of crime. Look at Crime Dog McGriff over there. So, yeah, I mean, that's good. I mean, you can't use the size against him now. You just got to go out there and play. I like it, man. I like it when guys find little things and get better. Now you just got to go out there and do it.
Maybe this is unfair, and you can absolutely tell me if it is, but we haven't seen the game breaker in Emmett Johnson yet, I don't think, in terms of the speed and the home run ability. Most of his big plays have come as a receiver out of the backfield, which is good, which is great. That's a weapon for Nebraska, and I think he can do it. But maybe I'm misjudging Emmett Johnson's speed, or maybe I'm underrating how fast other players in the Big Ten are. But Emmett hasn't hit that home run yet. He had that wheel route catch for the touchdown against Boston College, same against USC, which was impressive. But I'm more impressed with Emmett Johnson. His quickness, his shiftiness, the spin move he's busted out a few times has been pretty nice. But it doesn't seem like Emmett has that next gear to stick his foot in the ground and just go, right? Outrun a guy, make his angle turn into a bad angle. And I think that's okay. If Emmett Johnson doesn't have that level of breakaway speed in the college game, I think it's great that he put on these extra pounds if he can keep the quickness and the shiftiness where he can be relied on more between the tackles. And if he's not gonna pull away, in the open field, well, hey, maybe he can run through a guy for an extra 3 or 5 yards at the end.
Yeah, you just never know. I mean, it's I think
like he's fast enough. He's not slow. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, he's not Henderson from Ohio State. I mean, that's game. I mean, he's got wide receiver speed. I mean, matter of fact, the Patriots are using him as an X factor.
Yeah.
Being out there, keeping 2 running backs in there. So now you're, so I don't know. I think he's, and also you got to think, will he get more chances to hit a home run with better downfield blocking and emphasis with Coach Shorts and Dana, coming in and, because that improved with it. So I'm sure
he's fast enough.
I'm sure Emmett runs a 4.5 something, right?
But does that translate? Do you see that in games? Because I've seen Emmett get caught.
Yeah, but everybody gets caught.
I'm just saying he hasn't had that long touchdown. Like, okay, yeah, he's got the speed to be the home run hitter for Nebraska. He's a doubles hitter right now, which is great, which is fine. He can be a good Big Ten running back like that. I'm just saying I saw, again, maybe not fair comparison.
Like a home run hitter, like
Emmett hasn't scored from 60. He hasn't scored from 50. I think his longest touchdown was that catch against USC, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it?
What about didn't he have a long touchdown against Wisconsin? Like to close the game out or something?
That 20-yarder, I thought? Maybe it was longer. I'm just not remembering like that. Oh, Nebraska handed it off on 1st and 10 from
I know
their 35-yard line. Emmett
hit the sideline.
One guy missed, hit the sideline, strike up the band.
Yeah. You won't see that a lot in the Big Ten, though, if you're not Ohio State.
I mean, Penn State's guys do it. Oregon's done it. Michigan's done it.
Yeah.
Iowa's done it. Minnesota's guy can probably do it. Again, I'm not anti-Emmett by any stretch of the imagination.
I think his speed.
I'm just curious if he has a day.
Speed is good enough to get to the crib. When you talk about Judkins and Henderson, you're talking 4.3, 4.4 guys. You're talking guys that with elite wide receiver speed. So anything below that, obviously, I think it's kind of all in the same ballpark. So if he can,
Emmett against Wisconsin, long of 19, by the way, 16 for 130.
Or was that Northern Iowa? He did that.
Northern Iowa was the one. I think that's from 30 something.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing, I think the opposite of that for me is just, and it's not even a negative, just seeing, look, dude, you got to just step up and answer the bell. Like, this is your opportunity. Mm-hmm. And you can't really fault him for it because he hadn't had an opportunity to be the dude. Now you got a chance to be the dude.
Yeah.
And that should be the biggest question, because it all kind of goes into that, though. So if you can run better in between the tackles, then that will validate that you're the dude. If you kept your quickness and your acceleration, short area quickness and acceleration in and out of your cuts and your pass catching ability, and improve your ability to break tackles, then that's validating you being the dude. And then if you're able to pop off say like you had a 19-yarder against Wisconsin, say you pop off a couple 30-yarders, well, then that would let me know that then you become a little bit more of a home run hitter. Now, obviously, 60 yards is different.
But some of that's probably a mistake on the defense. Someone blew their assignment.
But I'm just saying that if your explosive runs improve, then that means you obviously have improved offensively as a whole. But more importantly, you have been able to, maybe you read the blocks better, or something like that. So
it also seems like anecdotally, not just Emmett, but a lot of Nebraska running backs have been one arm tackle or one jersey grab away from busting some of those long runs where, guy will be on a block, a linebacker will be on a block. He'll reach his arm out just enough to slow the guy down, to make their DB have a better angle, or just slow Nebraska down, get him off balance enough that, man, this 12 or 20-yard gain could have gone for 40 or 60, but for an arm tackle.
Yeah, I mean, I think, in the past that's the way it's been, but it's been the style of those running backs. So I think it's a great opportunity for Emmett to prove himself.
Yes.
Or validate what he already knows, right? And then once he does that, all the questions will be answered because he validated the answer. He provided the answers.
Yeah.
And whether
he became the answer to the test.
Whether he's able to be the guy, whether he's able to do it 12 games in a row, is he able to get a couple more explosive runs? All of it. And if Emmett's able to do that, or let's just say when he's able to do that, then the offense becomes 3 times better.
Yeah.
Because everything else becomes pitch and catch, and it becomes a lot easier. But it's all dependent on everybody. And a lot of the running backs, like, success. I mean, you see even seeing it. Now, granted, we had, Amon Green, a legit 4.2 40 at 220 some pounds. Lawrence Phillips, a legit like 4.32.
And those guys are the outliers, right? They're
but just the plethora of those guys you got to think Clinton Childs and probably Damon were at least 4.5, 4.6, and I don't want to, I'm sure they could take it to the house, right? Mm-hmm. Calvin Jones for sure 4.4.
Yeah.
Derek Brown, I'm sure he was fast too. Mike Rozier and all those guys, right? But all their big runs were because were a byproduct of the blocking on the edges. Now, that's where they were able to outrun the one guy coming over. And that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
If you get to that, let's say you get to that, let's say that second and a half level.
Mm-hmm.
So you got past the second level. You're not quite to the third.
Safety's creeping up. You got your one-on-one.
And you got to make him miss. And say you just get kind of like a little rub block. You hit the sideline.
Make that backside safety.
What do you got to do?
Do something superhuman.
You cock the head back, and you got to go, right? So you get that chance and get a couple of explosive runs, and then that just kind of answers a lot of questions. So I mean, I think your questions are legit, and it's, and you want to see it, but it's like the whole team. Everybody's got like things that they have to like answer, and it's not that they can't. You just got to go do it. And that's the good
Right.
thing about it. It'd be great if you had. It wouldn't be good if you had all these questions and you didn't have an opportunity to do it, or weren't going to be able to. Be like, oh man, this, we got a bunch of high school freshmen blocking for me. I'm a running back, and you're like, all right, yeah, I'm probably not in a good situation. So I think you got it to where, like, even like Dylan, okay, can we get to 20? I think in 20 and 6, I said, right?
Yeah.
20 and 8, 28 and 20 and 6, or even more, right? The more the merrier. Can Dane Key go from have the same production? Now, granted, he did in the SEC, so it shouldn't even be a question. But say you can get, I think he had 700 some yards, right?
Yeah, 750, I think.
So just say, even if he has the same amount of numbers, but he has a over 50% rate on 50-50 balls, or he becomes that guy kind of like Illinois had last year. They had one that was a home run threat and one was a
Bryant and Franklin.
right. But when they got in the red zone, you know where it's going, and you're that guy, right? And then
Can you be the guy with the most third down conversions on the team?
right,
You're
or a
the
guy
37 guy.
right, that gets open.
Mhm.
You know what time it is. You and Dylan are doing your thing.
Mhm.
You run man, you roast it. You run zone, I'm gonna know what I'm gonna do. And those, like, are you the drive continue? You keep the drives continue to keep going. That you can do that and provide the leadership both by your actions and your voice, which then allows the Mims, the Smiths, the Clarks, the Joneses, all those young pups. You're like, oh,
Even tight ends,
right?
factor those
They
in
get those
there.
4 games, like, oh, this dude's gonna be good. That's where you do. Then you start to like, all right, now we got some answers. Then the offensive line, right? Athletically, probably better. Depth wise, for sure, you should be. You got your older offensive line, right? It's kind of like the defensive line last year, older
Right.
defensive line. Can you be consistently consistent? You do that. You got to answer that question. Defense, can you guys gel fast enough within the same kind of scheme with a little bit of more, like, I guess I call it pizzazz or whatever, with Coach Snow and also Coach Butler? How fast can you gel? And then also, what guys step up, right? Both in the locker room, the meeting room, weight room, and all that. Like, everybody has like questions. We had questions when I was in 95.
And you answered them.
Yeah, well, we had no choice. Yeah, we did. But we had a lot of questions. First of all, I had the most questions, right? Because I hadn't played since high school.
Right.
Matter of fact, they even were questioning whether I was that good because they ain't put me on the poster. Salty.
Dang.
I was hot. And my feelings were hurt.
But you showed them.
My feelings were hurt for a little while, though.
Mr. Sensitivity over here.
Hey, Austin, man. Yeah, your boy had a lip poked out. I was just like, dang. You know,
what
like,
the brother got to do.
I was like, man, they really ain't believing in me, man. Like, they don't, really? You know what I'm saying?
I just got
Like,
a pity jersey.
Like, everybody got the memo?
Yeah.
Except me? So I'm questionable. Like, hey, they said, you're questionable at best. That's exactly what they said. You're questionable at best. Here I was, thought I was working hard all summer. I wasn't even thinking about the poster. I really hadn't. I was just head down.
That's the best way to get on the poster, I'm sure.
Apparently not. I hadn't thought about it. I just was only in Nebraska for a year, less than a year.
Yeah.
Wait, because I got here in August. And so by the next August, I'm starting. No, I'm just doing my thing. I mean, you know what they say? Life comes at you fast. Life came at me fast.
Record scratch. You might be wondering how I got myself in this situation.
Right. I did some stuff, right?
Yeah.
Made some moves. Right. Steve Sipple wrote an article about me, in the Lincoln Journal-Star starting. Then I'm just chilling. And I don't know where I was. I think Mike Ruggers was looking at me. He's like, did you see the poster? And I was like, what poster?
He's like, oh, sorry.
He was like, it's messed up, dog. Then it's like, then I looked at it. You know what's funny?
So who'd you go to, though?
Hold on.
Coach McBride?
I ain't
Coach
saying,
Sam?
oh, no, you better not say nothing. Because I'm a redshirt. Then it was like, all right, I can't say anything. Well, because I hadn't played. But I was the starter. I won the spot. Okay, then they wanted me. I had the biggest question, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what was funny? Before we go to break, here's the funniest thing. I kept looking at the poster, hoping my picture would be on there. That's the best thing. Hey, Austin, I kept looking at that book. Hey,
they printed this one wrong. They printed next one wrong.
I kept opening the computer. Where am I at? You know how they have those things like, where's Waldo? Where there's the little guy in the corner. I was like, trying to see. See, I'm here. They got me They just got me real little miniature me.
They ran out of space. They put me on there. Don't worry, guys. I'm there.
Yeah, you need to put the name up there. You didn't even put the name. Was that Keith, man? Keith, if you're listening, matter of fact, next time I see Keith, was it you?
What I do to you, Keith?
You know how they said Scott Frost was mad because he got booed? I'm mad at Keith. You didn't put me on the poster. Keith, if you listen, I'm mad at you, man. You didn't put me on that poster, man. Feelings were hurt, brother.
Did the Bills put you on the poster eventually?
You know what? I'm just thinking about it. It was just for the first. Okay, let's just think about this, right? So from 1995 to always to the Greg Williams, because Greg was like you. Greg told me you questioned. Matter of fact, I will tell you, T.O. and them thought it.
Greg showed you.
Greg told me. He said, "I know you start. You're questionable." He said, "You're questionable at best," and he told me a couple other things too.
You were a Houston headliner, so you know your posters around.
I was in there. Now they spent some money.
H-Town's not missing you.
Listen, I knew I was in the poster because Mr. McNair flew his jet up there to get me. So I knew, and you paid for me to move, so I knew I was in there. Then, but I had to work to get my number though. I had to get it from Black Cat, man. Oh man,
who's Black Cat?
This dude named Jason Lamar, man. That's what he talked. That's what his name was. Because I came in.
That's a new one for me. I've not heard about Black Cat yet.
He said he said he was quick as a cat. Now you can guess why he called himself Black Cat. He talked more. He it was like going in there and he was like looking me up and down. That's the first dude I met. I came in all dressed up. You know what I'm saying? At the press conference. He's like, "What's up, man? I'm Black Cat. I'm number 56." Because Jamie Sharper had 55 and I wanted 56.
Mm-hmm.
I think I wonder what I wore the first day. I had some bootleg number. But then once I got it started, I need that.
Jay Foreman, 47.
No, I was in the 50. You weren't gonna do me like that. I knew it was over for me when I got to them other teams. And when I had that 90s number, I was like, I'm about to be out of the league. Hey, Austin. Hey.
Their signs.
Yeah,
just
that was
read
it.
them.
Once they went through all the 50s, you 90? Yeah, I knew it. I called my agent. How many years am I vested? Anyway, Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. Take a quick break, come back, man. Austin, I was digging through my bin. Now, for everybody listening out there, all you bootleg trainers in Lincoln thinking that Jay Foreman is the football guy, I found my letter from Bob Huggy.
Huggy Bear. Ooh, I need to hear about this.
He sent me a letter. He said, "We got to check out your academics." Check out your academics. Hey, nice to meet you. This is all we can say. He said it there. It was Henry. He signed it. Get your school right. We will be checking your transcript. Anyways, Jay Foreman also, we out here.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Make this your best football season yet with help from Limitless Mail. If you're struggling with low energy, muscle loss, brain fog, belly fat, mood swings, it's likely low testosterone, and Limitless Mail can fix that. We've helped over 100,000 men feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more like themselves again. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Take control. Book your free consult today at limitlessmail.com. That's limitlessmail.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. Go bold this summer and fall with endless possibilities. Stop in now for the best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coats, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning, a slight chance of rain this afternoon. Otherwise, should see mainly sunny skies with a high around 90. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, a low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light variable winds with a high around 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. Man, I'll tell you what, bro. I've seen stuff. You had a little. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't know if it's gonna be through the ticket. We're gonna do kind of off kilter podcast. We'll play it on this ticket. I'll probably record at home because I got some stuff cooking with some where guys can tell some stories that are not suitable for radio. But I will tell you this. I don't know who it is. I'll just say the season. There will be a player or players that goes and surprises people and changes their future. And I was dead serious. Coach Osborne didn't have to tell me that I was questionable. And then he might not even have known. Coach Osborne didn't care. He don't care about quarterbacks in the offense. But whether it's the SID, which I didn't even know what that was until I got a little older. And back then, I will tell you this before we get into it, is that, all the interviews they're doing now, like, you knew you were playing good when they asked you to go and talk on Tuesdays. Not because of what you said, because of what you did.
How you played.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so and everybody's just kind of like, look, always over deliver, be very, and that was fine. Everybody was along. But to be honest with you, when I tell you my heart sunk when I wasn't on that poster, man, straight up. So but then after you get over your emotions, right, which is only temporary, then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna shove it in your face, straight up. Now, granted, now here's what's funny, and then I'll tell you the basketball story. So here's what's funny. So I'm starting, after I win the position, we had spring ball. I'm the guy. I go from 7th to number 1. I had like 20 tackles in the spring game, so I'm starting. 2 funny stories. So I used to stay in Able dorms.
I'm a San Diego guy myself, but I respect it.
Okay. I was just going where I was saying. Wherever that key was open, I was going. And I remember being either on the elevator. It was me, Jason Wiltz, Mike Rucker. We were on the elevator. And I think the young lady was a TA, when they stayed on in the dorms. Now, obviously,
or
not
RA.
Yeah. But not on our floor, obviously.
Gotcha.
And, she was like, what do you guys, we play football, whatever. And she looked at me, she's like, you don't play football. You ain't big. Oh, straight up.
She told what?
You ain't big enough. Like, you too scared. Yeah. Like, nah, you straight up. You don't look like you play football.
You questionable.
At best. And then so the spring happens. I end up being, named number 1 at that time. Saw her again when I was moving out of the dorms because you had to stay in the dorms all year. She's like, you weren't lying. You do play. Yeah. Right. So then, then you go through the whole thing. And then here's what's funny. My dad told me this story later on in my football life when I got drafted late or got drafted. I want to say late. Right. He told me this story. Now, I love Coach Samuel. Is that after the spring game, he saw Coach Samuel, I think, down at Barrymore's. And Coach Samuel said, yeah, your son's starting right now, but we bringing in this dude named Tony Ortiz, and he's starting. First of all, you tell my dad that, he's going to pop it. My dad was like, you don't know my son, right? And then so I remember my dad having a talk with me. He's like, ain't nobody, he's like, you ain't going to let nobody take it. He got into the whole stuff like that. So that's also, then that off season, then, you're out on the poster. And to be honest with you, I probably didn't deserve to be on the poster because I hadn't played. So that's the difference of thinking that you're, I guess, entitled to be there just because you're there versus I feel like you deserve it because you earned it. I hadn't earned it yet in real live action.
Almost like a lagging benefit, right? You earn it and then you prove it.
You get a promotion by just being around. But let me go earn. Okay, that's fine, and I did, and the rest is history. Then it served me. Each of these, like, what I thought was the worst thing in the world. I think that's the main reason I was able to outlast my supposed shelf life in the NFL. You start as a freshman, all game long, the greatest team of all time. You had to move positions, had to change your body and do that. There's guys over there dealing with that right now. There's going to be somebody that's going to embrace this so-called adversity, and it's going to lead them to be successful not only next week, but, moving forward. It doesn't matter who is it, right? You got to get an opportunity. What did Kevin or Bill, was it Brian Billick say? Yeah. You got to come in there kicking, swinging, and knocking people out. Now, back to basketball now, all right? So here's the thing. So I used to coach basketball. Now, I remember first of all, there's this dude in Omaha that somebody told me. I think he's Omaha Elite. I guess he's like, I'm tired of losing this dude. We got to, right? And I'm like,
losing to this guy is questionable at best.
But here's the thing. We brothers. I thought we was in there. I ain't never had no static with you, man.
And Ben Young sometimes.
Right, but he was salty. And then I used to see, every time I see him, he'd never say, what's up? Well, like, all right, well, we'll take them L's with you. But all these dudes, I remember this one guy, he's like, oh, that's the football guy. Not so fast, my friend. Did some digging in the bin, and for my sophomore year, 1992. Now I'm aging myself, right? So 1992, the summer of 92. So going from sophomore to junior. And my dad, it was funny thing. I used to collect football cards. But I had so many football cards, I had to move them into like a box.
Mhm.
So then he used the football card 3-ring binder and kind of punched the holes in and put the letters in. And it was funny. I did it myself. You could tell it's my handwriting. So one was like basketball, one was football, and had a couple for track, and that wasn't happening.
Would that happen before or after the Army?
That ain't happening.
Okay. So neither.
So here's the thing, basketball, and I will tell you how recruiting, and this is how it's just a straight up opportunity, how it can start slow and you just never know where it ends. My first recruiting letters, right? It is from 2 schools. First one was Army. I probably anybody that had a heartbeat in the pulse, they were recruiting. That was not
ulterior
happening.
motives.
Yeah, it was Army,
Mhm.
and probably all of them. But it was. I remember the first one I got was Army because we used to have our own like little mailbox, and you come down, or actually got called down to the office. The second one was from North Dakota State at that time, which was, I think back then they were garbage. It was North Dakota State, North Dakota, South Dakota, and South Dakota State. Brother just felt like
Power players now.
Yeah,
At the FCS
but
level,
not back
but
then. So
when you compare that to
So now back then, everybody was multi-sport athletes. So I remember being in basketball, and some of my, guys I played with played football, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I got Dave Watson. He had letters from Penn State and all this, and Notre Dame, and Mike McCullough, who played. He had went to Notre Dame or end up going to Notre Dame. Steve Rosca go to Colorado. And I'm like, they like, what you got? And I'm like, the Dakotas. And then
just like Minnesota, but slightly further west.
So then I was like, well, this football thing ain't as easy as I thought it was. Let me get my hoop on. So we down in nationals. I'm number like 8 or 9 coming off the bench. Now, mind you, we had a good team. We had White Jordan, Sam Jacobson, those dudes, and I'm coming off the bench. I had no problem. I was happy to be there. But then, brother got busy a little bit. Yeah, and then it got busy again, and then validated it with 3. And then I was, kind of like the first guy off the bench and started and, did my thing, and I was looking at it and got the letter from Bob Huggins, from
Huggy Bear.
Yeah, from Cincinnati,
Woo!
Temple, Wichita State, UNO,
all right,
the Mavericks. It was funny, but the best part about it was Bob Huggins. The first one was just like a questionnaire. We saw you. Here's a questionnaire. Then then you get, when they start recruiting you, there's handwritten letters, and then there are more. Every single time. Stay on your academics. Stay on your academics. We need to see academic progress. Keep us abreast of your academic progress every single time. Yeah, so it was optional. I was telling Austin during the break, the hallway, the hallways of my high school was my playground.
Your kingdom.
My kingdom.
Mhm.
I was king of the walk. I used to just roam the hallways until I got reeled in. But it's a good example of, when I sit up here and say, look, dude, there's probably there's people walking around right now like I was better than him. I said, probably you were. You just didn't have the cojones.
From the Dakotas to the cojones.
Yeah, you didn't have it. But I will tell you, once I used it as fuel, and then obviously, when first of all, what really opened the floodgates for me. This is honestly God true. Now, you don't have to have the ACT or SAT. Once it coincided. Once I used it as fuel, and then I had a breakout game and games, but then it validated against against Lane Kiffin and them, and then I became eligible. Then brother was it was
it's on.
It was on. Kansas State came with a little cash. Missouri came. Northwestern came. They had nice uniforms. Rest is history. I got brand new.
In a good way,
but I was brand new because listen, I literally ran around the second floor where the majority of the juniors and seniors did in class. It was like, I'm going to college. It was the funniest thing ever. And they were looking at me. Dwayne Perjak was my favorite teacher. He was like, "What are you doing?"
I'm going to college, Dwayne.
I handed him the page. I handed him the score from the ACT. He's like, "Dang, you got a 24?" Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me.
See that name right there? That government name? That belongs to me.
And I had a plan. If it wasn't A, I'd do A, B, C, and then I hit a couple B's. That had to pay off. It had to pay off. Because there's no way in the world I thought I got a 24. I was not that. I did not apply myself. So, anyways, come next week, there will be somebody that kickstarts their career. That's maybe a little bit unknown. That's been working hard in training camp, and hopefully leads the Huskers to victory. But we're gonna take a quick break. Come back. Quick segment before we turn it over to Bill Mitchner and Lighthouse, which Friday, Lighthouse Gala 35th year is going to be a special event. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning, a slight chance of rain this afternoon. Otherwise, should see mainly sunny skies with a high around 90. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, a low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light variable winds with a high around 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Rick Heyman here from Starter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at starterheyman.com.
Starter Heyman Jewelers.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Quick segment, Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, before we turn it over to Bill Mitchner in the Lighthouse. Once again, get it on lighthouselincoln.org. You can donate or possibly get you a seat for the 35th, or it's been a 35th year celebration of the gala Friday. I think it starts at 7 down at the Cornhusker. Bill Mitchner will come in and spread some of that news But some, I guess, Nebraska news, not Husker news, but a native Nebraskan. Harrison Phillips is traded from the Minnesota Vikings to the Jets for 2 7th-round picks.
He went with a 7.
Oh, with the 7th?
For 2 6th.
2 6.
In 26 and 27.
2 6, yeah. So Harrison Phillips, again, I just talked about it. Like, now, granted, I think he was drafted in the 3rd round from Stanford, but, look, you got overlooked here. Probably didn't think he fit. Maybe at that time, maybe didn't fit the scheme of, Coach Pelini, but then he went to Stanford and it worked out for him. Sometimes being told no is actually a better yes somewhere else, and it worked out, and there's no animosity there. He still lives up in Omaha, and now he's traded, and it used to be when you get traded, you think like essentially, they cut you, but now there's some value there because the team needed you and was willing to give up, obviously, what I call cash, which is obviously draft picks, which is very important in this day and age of NFL football, because the contracts are so big that the picks have value a lot more than before. So wishing him all the best. Unfortunately, he's going to have to pay New York State tax and Yonkers tax.
Dang.
But I can guarantee you he ain't taking a pay cut. And if he plays well, his agent's telling him we got to restructure that contract.
What's that going to be like going from Brian Flores to Aaron Glenn?
I don't think it's going to be much. I mean, obviously, Brian Flores is very aggressive. I think at the 2nd and 3rd level. I think Aaron Glenn, I think he's going to fit really, really good with Williams because it's like Batman and Robin. I think Harrison Phillips is a steady veteran, can be a secondary pass rusher, knows exactly what he's doing. I think it'll free up Williams to be the player he was 2 years ago when he should have been the defensive player of the year. Was flat out unstoppable. So if you get him back to where he was, you'll get the best version of Harrison Phillips. You bring in another leader. I like it. I think it's a win-win.
He's played 7 years in the league, I think, going into year 8. And the Athletics Vikings guy is saying he's been an incredible leader and run stopper for the Vikings for a few years. Vikings just feel overloaded with defensive tackle depth. Hargrave, Allen, Redmond, Drake, Ingram Dawkins, Taimani, and Elijah Williams.
Yeah, I mean, you signed Jonathan Allen in free agency, and so he's a top-notch guy. You drafted some guys prior, and then obviously you free agency, like secondary market or whatever you want to call it, so that leaves him exposed. But I think the one thing about Harrison Phillips, he'll go out and extend his career there. He can still go back to Brian Flores or to the Vikings at a later date if he wants to extend his career.
That's a locker room guy with a role.
Yeah.
Do that as long as he wants.
And you can get that. All right, I'm not going to sign to after training camp. We'll call you about week 6. You get the extended vacation, workout, you get the 2-week buffer to get into an acclimation period. It's a great opportunity for veterans now to extend their careers way past the normalcy of the league prior.
Mississippi Mud Dog chimed in and says, we took Mick Stoltenberg instead of Harrison Phillips, both 4-star in-state defensive tackles. That is not a name I'd thought of in a long time. Mick Stoltenberg.
Yeah,
dang.
Yeah, and I think Harrison Phillips was a little underweight because of wrestling.
Yeah.
But David Shaw came in and got him, and they said, he's the toughest guy. Look, man, recruiting, it's hit or miss. It is, man, and Mick was okay, but Harrison was obviously really good out in Stanford, and is now going to end up playing potentially double-digit years in the NFL. Good for him. Worked out for everybody, and you wish him continued success because he's a good dude. So, anyways, we're going to we're going to go put a bow on this bad boy, turn it over to Bill Mitchner. On this hump day, Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. We'll holler at you tomorrow.